Yesterday there was a war fought on American soil that I'm sure many of you have seen by now. A one-man army barged into a local smoothie place, assaulted the young workers, got racist, got arrested, and subsequently fired from his very well-paying job. He was one of the top 25 highest-grossing wealth advisors in Connecticut, and he threw all of it away over what was ultimately his fault when it came to a smoothie dispute. This battle was up there with the Battle of Troy, but instead of being fought over a woman, it was fought over a smoothie. To briefly break down the situation before sharing the video, or at least some of the video, I can't share all of it because he gets racist and I'm not going to show that. So just to briefly sum up the lore here, there was a father who had ordered a smoothie from this smoothie place earlier in the day. He mentioned he didn't want any peanut butter in it, so when he got the smoothie, he brought it to his son who has a peanut allergy, and his son had an allergic reaction to the smoothie and ended up in the hospital. Sometime after this, the father then went like full-blown fucking vigilante mode, goddamn trying to emulate John Wick, went back to the smoothie place to demand to speak face-to-face with the person who made the smoothie, but the 4 girls that were working there at the time were not the 4 employees that made that smoothie, so they didn't know who it was. So then the father got very upset, yelling and screaming, treating it like a 2009 Call of Duty Xbox Live lobby, just absolutely shouting, being racist, and tried to kick down the employees only door, I imagine, to try and like beat them up or some shit. Then police got involved, he got arrested, lost his job. The whole thing honestly played out like a fucking Dhar Mann video over the last 12 hours. Father gets angry, gets racist, gets fired, lives to regret it. Now, I want to make it clear, I think the father is totally in the right to be mad about the situation, but nothing justifies racism and like trying to assault people that didn't even have anything to do with the situation in the first place or any of that shit. The most important part of this story is the father never specified he didn't want the peanut butter due to allergies. He never specified that it was due to, allergies to peanuts that he wanted the peanut butter excluded. So the workers may have made a mistake of blending it in a blender that had already had a peanut butter smoothie in it at some point. But nothing excuses how the father handled the situation at all. It's terrible what happened to his son, and what the father should have done is handle this legally, professionally. The dude's a fucking wealth advisor, at a very reputable place. He shouldn't be some kind of troglodyte homunculus who thinks the only solution here is to goofily march into the smoothie place, fee-fi-fo-fumming, ready to fight some high school girls. It's absolutely outrageous the way he handled it, and there's no excuse for it. Now, from what I understand, most restaurants do have a policy when someone asks for anything regarding nuts, like leave off, the peanut butter or whatever. The assumption is supposed to be made that it is due to allergies, which is why they have like a special blender at smoothie places from what I was reading. So yes, the smoothie place is at fault, which is why the father should have handled this legally, not as some kind of, agent of chaos or whatever. Let me go ahead and show you the video now.
Please don't yell at us.
Yeah. Don't videotape me.
You have no room to yell at us.
I want to speak to the fucking person who made this drink. Is that you?
No, it wasn't
we don't know
me.
who made it, so...
You don't know who made it?
There's 4 of us here, so we obviously don't know.
Fucking stupid, fucking ignorant high school kids.
Okay, bye.
I want to speak to the fucking
Bye.
man.
Okay, you can call corporate whenever you want. Goodbye.
John, stop. You're on camera.
Fuck
You're on
out of
camera.
here,
You're on
you
camera.
fucking bitch.
No, I don't care.
Give it to me right now.
What? Really?
I'm calling the police. I'm calling the police.
Fuck you. I want the fucking telephone number right now.
Gianna,
I want the telephone number. Shut the fuck
You
up.
shut up. Get out. You can call corporate whenever you want. Bye.
You're a fucking idiot.
Okay, good for you. Fuck out. You're going to jail. You're going to jail, you racist piece of shit.
I want the fucking telephone.
bro, call the police now.
Like I said, I'm not going to keep any of the racist shit he said in here because obviously I don't want to keep that in here. So this is the worst way of handling any situation ever. I talked about it on stream last night, so I'll play some of those clips. But there's nothing that excuses this behavior. I've seen quite a few people almost defend him, saying like how emotional he must have been with his son. And yeah, that's a horrible thing that happened to his kid off of a mistake from the facility here. But this is not the way you go about it. And nothing justifies racism and like attacking people, especially people that had nothing to do with what happened in the first place. And if he was really that emotional about his son, why wasn't he with his son at the hospital at this point? I'm assuming time when this was happening, his son was still at the hospital. This probably wasn't like 18 hours later, or, you know, the next day or anything. So he sent his son to the hospital and then immediately came over here like it was some kind of revenge movie or something. It's disgusting. I don't think they like maliciously put peanut butter in his smoothie after he asked not to. It was probably just using a cross-contaminated blender that had peanut butter in it. Just sue. Exactly. He could have handled this legally or anything other than whatever the fuck he thought he was doing here, like Liam Neeson. Fair, but if I was a dad, I'd get just as angry, just without the racism. He absolutely had a right to be angry. I don't think anyone disputes that. But he doesn't have a right to be racist, or go to the place and threaten high school girls. And throw a smoothie at them, call them all kinds of horrible names, and then try and literally break down the door to, I assume, beat them up. Most places, when they hear no peanuts / nuts of any kind, they're supposed to assume allergies due to how common it is. That would make sense. He was the wealth management advisor, and managing director for Merrill Lynch. Yeah, that's what it was. He only worked with clients with $1 million or more. I remember that. I guess you can't control emotions when your son is in the hospital. What? What? I mean, no matter how mad you get, there's never an excuse for racism. Like, what do you mean? It's not like, my son, time to go be racist. Dude looks way older than 48. He doesn't look that much older than 48. Like, it's not like a good 48 he's rocking, but it's also not, like, terrible. You clearly haven't met a 48-year-old in Florida. Yeah, so as I mentioned, this father only worked with clients who had $1 million or more worth of, like, assets in their account or some shit like that. So this guy was big money. He wasn't making peanuts. This guy was making, like, fucking fat, big old stacks. And he lost that job, like, hours after this video surfaced. Overall, this whole situation was awful. Feel really bad for the kid. Both parties were at fault, but the father was significantly more in the wrong for how he handled this. There is just no excuse for this behavior whatsoever. So, yeah, that's about it. So, yeah. Yeah, my hair's wet because I just got out of the shower. I've been smoking on that West Virginia sticky couch co-op, and it's got me feeling like making fun of some more Pokemon scalpers. This has become a pretty embarrassing epidemic, with grown men fighting each other over Pokemon cards. A month ago, I was covering the Pokemon brawls that were breaking out across the country when Costco made the fatal decision to start stocking Pokemon products. God rest all the souls we lost on that day. Many a brave warrior were sent straight to Valhalla fighting to get their grubby paws on Pokemon boxes. That was always going to end one way. Death. Costco and Pokemon together, that's just gonna be catastrophic 100% of the time. That's like a nitroglycerin plant announcing they're gonna start selling fireworks. Anyway, it's not like the scalpers have been hibernating or anything. They've just been fighting in different locations without as much footage surfacing until today. I saw a goofy little fight break out at a Pokemon vending machine. Now, I've never seen one of these in the wild, but these are Pokemon vending machines where you can buy product out of it. And typically they're empty because scalpers come through like the Grinch and buy up the entire inventory and sell it online for a markup. That's how they live their life. Actually taking candy from babies for a $10 profit. It's fucking sickening. So in this video, these are apparently 2 known scalpers in the Bay Area that start duking it out at 10 a.m. off of a fresh restock. Now, speaking of fresh, if you want to start smelling better, if you don't want to be as stinky as these losers in the videos we're about to watch, then you need to start using Cheeky Soap. We actually just came out with 2 new scents. Absolute Cinnamon and Spope. Spope is spa soap, so we just combined the 2 words together. So this is like a eucalyptus scent. This one's obviously cinnamon. They're available now. Go to usecheeky.com right now. Now, I can't play the audio because it's just DMCA music. So the person who uploaded this is the guy currently at the vending machine and is now getting boxed out by the Eagles hoodie gentleman. So Humpty Dumpty here with that NBA caliber box out, he's throwing that ass back on the guy who uploaded this. And I love this pose right here. This is that Spider-Man 2 stopping the train moment. Man is fucking, it looks like he's protecting the president, like he's about to like take bullets for the guy here, the way that he stretches out like that. I'll play the rest in a moment, but they're bumping and grinding at the Pokemon vending machine. And the guy decided not to keep the original audio in and elected to put a song there instead. I think that's a really weird decision, and I think the reason he would do that is because the Eagles hoodie guy was probably confronting him about scalping. That's, like, based on what I've been reading as well, that seems likely because that guy is apparently a known scalper who actually camps restocks of these fucking Pokemon vending machines, and it stands to reason that if Eagles hoodie guy was calling him out on that, you know, boo, boo, this guy stinks, he's buying every Pokemon box, this sucks. Well, he obviously wouldn't want to leave that in for the video because then nobody would be on his side. And if, like, you can see him at the Pokemon vending machine. He looks like he's about to place an order when the video starts. And then Kevin James from Hitch comes in here getting him with that fucking wobble swag, throwing that ass in a circle on him, getting him out of the way. So if he just came in there out of nowhere to, like, kick him off the machine so he could hog it all to himself, I imagine he would have left the audio in because it was so unreasonable and so unexpected. That's just my working game theory. I saw a couple Facebook group posts as well as a couple Reddit posts saying they recognize this guy from their local Pokemon vending machines around the Bay Area, and basically doing the same thing where he'd be there right when it restocked and grab a ton of product from it. Now, I also saw that the guy who boxed him out has a lot of people who apparently recognize him as well. He's not some virtuous hero, you know. Ass Ketchum is not using those cheeks for good. Apparently, he too cruises these Pokemon vending machines, buying up a ton of product from it. So it does seem like the original caption of two known scalpers, you know, fighting at 10 a.m. is accurate based on everything I've read from the Bay Area Pokemon community, as well as some of the other people that have talked about this. Anyway, though, back to the action. You can see he is still in a wide power stance saying, "You shall not pass." And he's instigating this scuffle, by the way, yet he's leaving himself totally undefended. He could have caught the meanest knuckle sandwich of 2025. That move would have been super effective. It would have had him blasting off like Team Rocket. Anyway, though, the action's winding down in the fourth quarter and they go their separate ways. That was pretty awesome. That right there is what Pokemon's all about. At least in the modern day and age. There are so many fights for Pokemon cards. It is unbelievable. But yeah, like I said, these Pokemon vending machines are apparently a hotspot for scalpers. So, one thing that's been kind of popular is people will go there and just start filming and shaming some of the scalpers, and I really appreciate that. I think they're doing a very strong public service by filming these shameless fucking degenerate losers who go there buying tons and tons of product and then going online to sell it for a markup to kids or parents looking to buy something for their kids. Now, I also have said this before, and a lot of people disagree with me, but fuck you, I'm right. I think Pokemon has become less for kids and more for people like this. Adults that view it as a money-making conduit. So they'll see things like the Pokemon Oreo collab, right? And they'll go and buy tons of Pokemon Oreos hoping to get like the Mew one and sell it on eBay for $100. So I feel like most Pokemon products never even really get into the hands of kids predominantly. It is mainly in the hands of adults, like greedy assholes, that are buying it to try and make money off of it. That's kind of what the entire hobby of Pokemon seems to be becoming. Of course, I'm sure there's data to prove me wrong, but I'm going to plug my ears to that. Fuck you. The data can suck my dick. I think my feeling is more accurate here for this. Because every time there's a Pokemon set, a Pokemon collab, a Pokemon fucking fart somewhere out there, you will have hundreds, thousands of grown-ass dudes going out there to try and make money off scalping it. So it sucks. It super sucks. Anyway, let me show you some scalpers real quick so we can make fun of more of them.
Don't be this fucking guy right here, look. Don't be these two assholes taking all this shit right there. We're all waiting in the fucking line to make fucking $20.
Now, I think it's worth mentioning that Pokemon themselves are aware of the scalping problem, so recently they implemented some new policies to these machines, one of them being anti-loitering and a couple other things meant to combat this. It's not working. Hey, sorry to hit you with the cold water, it is not working. I also heard there were like purchase limits in place, but that doesn't work either because you can just make like maximum purchase limit and then just stay at the machine and then do maximum purchase limit again. So the protocol aren't stopping the scalping problem. I don't know exactly what they can do for these vending machines to stop it. I mean, maybe you hire the Pinkertons and each vending machine comes with its own armed security guard to ensure no scalpers get to ransack it. I really don't know. But at least they're aware of the issue. Maybe they can do something about it down the line that I'm not smart enough to think of, but I truly don't know. Scalpers are a huge issue across the board. They are a scourge on the entire planet, not just to Pokemon. But in Pokemon, I'd say scalpers are some of the worst and most pathetic I've seen.
Here we go again. Cleaning out the machine once again. Every single time I see this guy at the machine is getting cleared out. He doesn't care if it's singles, bundles, ETBs, he's just clearing everything out.
They know how scummy it is too. You can see in all of these like confronting scalper videos, they like get really shy and try and like hide away. Like this guy's just blatantly trying to hide his face. The other two guys, they looked like they were on the verge of tears. Like they know that it's shitty, but they don't care. That little 20 bucks they can make online, that makes it all worth it. They're hustling right now. They're on the grind. I've probably been yapping about this for too long now anyway, so I'll just stop it there. But yeah, Pokemon scalping still super sucks. Really shameful shit. That's really about it. So yeah. There's nothing more patriotic than taking an expensive ambulance ride to the hospital in the case of an emergency. It's become a very popular joke that if whatever puts you in the ambulance in the first place doesn't kill you, the financial debt that you'll accrue from your hospital stay plus ambulance ride will. That'll throw you 6 feet under, that'll bury you. You're actually looking at a back-to-back ambulance rider champion here. I'm a bit of an aficionado. Back in high school when my lung kept collapsing, I took a spin in an ambulance twice because of it. And my parents obviously care a lot about me, but I could tell both times that ambulance pulled up, their souls left their body. Because getting visited by an ambulance is like getting visited by a money dementor. It just sucks your shit up. The first ambulance ride was one that I couldn't really avoid, but the second one, they actually transported me in an ambulance from one hospital wing to the other, which to this day I still believe is a scam, and my dad will still shake his fist about, because I could have just walked from one wing to the other. Like I could have just been transported in like maybe a wheelchair or something, but instead they put me in an ambulance to take me like half a mile. And I'd already been at the hospital for a pretty extended period of time, so it's not like I was, you know, needing an ambulance to get me from point A to point B. I was stable. I could just, with my own power, go from one wing to the other. But they insisted on the ambulance. And in the ambulance, I wasn't even hooked up to any gear or anything. I was just kind of sitting there hanging out for the 3-minute ride. And that was, I believe, $800 to go that far. And the first ambulance ride was like $1,500 or something like that. The average ambulance ride cost in the US is like $400 to $1,200. It has a huge range depending on the state, but it doesn't seem like there's anything like super consistent with it. All that is consistent is how fucking expensive that is. But anyway, I'm getting really sidetracked. What I want to talk about is there was a bike rider in Oregon who actually just got hit by an ambulance, and then that ambulance, after blasting him on the road like it was twisted metal, picked up the bike rider, threw him in the back of the ambulance, transported him to the hospital, and billed him $1,800 for it. Can you even imagine? You're riding your bike, you get hit by an ambulance, and then they charge you $1,800 for the inconvenience of hitting you and bringing you to the hospital for the problem they caused. Galaxy brain, nefarious scheme. That is a scam that Ed, Edd n Eddy would have run, unironically. I know I use that comparison a lot, but this is actual Ed, Edd n Eddy tier. It's so good. Like, oh, we need jawbreakers. Ed, what do you think we should do? Well, let's go hit Rolf with a hammer and then charge him 25 cents for the Band-Aid. Like, that is basically what this is. I don't think they hit the bike rider on purpose, but even still, they struck the cyclist and then charged them $1,800 for the transportation fee in the ambulance. His name is William Hosch, he's 71, and he was hit by the ambulance in question after its driver made a right turn, fracturing his nose and leaving him with scrapes as well as other injuries across his body. And now he's suing the Columbia River Fire and Rescue Department for nearly $1 million after they sent him an $1,800 bill for the ambulance ride. He claims he was left with permanent injuries and accrued $47K in medical expenses so far, with an additional $50K anticipated after his visit to the hospital. As they say, the dildo of justice rarely comes lubed, and I'm hoping William gets in there raw. I'm hoping he wins that lawsuit, because that is just some barnacles right there. That's some straight up fucking fish paste. The ambulance hits him and then charges him money for the ride. And it seems like it's not, like, it doesn't seem like they're on the hook for any damages, so he's not owed any money, even though they caused the problem. They are at fault, at least from everything I've seen here. And now he has to go through a tedious, expensive lawsuit in order to get any amount of compensation for an issue they caused. That's so crazy. The lawsuit claims that in 2022, Hosh was traveling in the same direction as an ambulance on his bicycle, and the vehicle tried to make a right turn to another street, and it crashed into him, destroying his bike. The ambulance driver estimated they were going between 2 and 10 miles per hour. Hosh estimated to police that he was going between 5 and 10. Crash left him covered in blood and resulted in prolonged injuries and pain, stiffness, tenderness, discomfort, impaired range of motion, and reduced grip. Now, it's important to remember that this man is 71 years old. So in 2022, we can do the math, he would have been 69 years old. That's not exactly a spring chicken. At that age, getting struck by a large vehicle is absolutely going to do some substantial lasting damage, I would imagine, even if it's not going 30 miles per hour, right? Unless William's got bones made out of adamantium, that's going to lead to some boo-boos. I don't think he's just making up these claims. I don't think he's doing some traditional ambulance chasing, as it's called, where someone fakes an injury after an accident in order to get a payday from it. That's not what this case strikes me as. It seems like he actually does have like a fractured nose and medical expenses that he'd like to be compensated for, considering the problem was caused by the ambulance. It doesn't sound like William was at fault. It doesn't sound like he was driving recklessly or not paying attention. I haven't seen any reports of William, popping a wheelie while giving the middle finger to the ambulance while he's going down the sidewalk and then losing control and crashing into them. So I feel like he's probably in the right here to be upset that he got charged for the ambulance ride and then also had some big medical expenses slapped on top of that. So I do think he's got some big ground to stand on here for this lawsuit. Also, there's this picture from the scene, and it had me giggling because the authorities are looking around like they're trying to locate body parts from William, like they just blew him to pieces and they're trying to locate the remnants. Like, come on, you couldn't at the very least just waive the ambulance fee considering the situation here? Was that really off the table? Now, there is a picture of William Hosh after the accident in a hospital bed, and his face is all bloodied, so he definitely did get injured. Again, this isn't him just like making things up, at least I don't see it that way, and not based on the evidence presented. He mentions that he believed the ambulance was going to keep going straight. It was like going down a hill. He thought it was still going straight, so I'm guessing there wasn't a turn signal, or at the very least William didn't see one. Then the ambulance suddenly turned right, and William was left with no time to react to it to avoid it. But the ambulance driver said he believed he had his turn signal on. Now, whether or not the turn signal was actually on, who really knows? But all I know is this headline was something special. An ambulance hitting a man and then charging him $1,800 to bring him to the hospital. That is unhinged. So I wanted to talk about it a little bit. That's it. So yeah. Get your protractor out, nerd, because I'm ranting Wumbo style right now. I am so tired of the Epstein files being treated like it's Half-Life 3. Where there's all these like leaks being teased all the time and then nothing. Nothing ever happens. Just release the files. It's been years and it feels like every 6 months there's like this big push like they're finally coming. It's on the way. Batten down the hatches because you're not ready for this bombshell, and then poof. What? Nothing. Nothing new. The reason I'm ranting about this is because yesterday I kept reading and kept being told like tomorrow's the big day. The Epstein files are finally fully declassified and all of it's coming out tomorrow. The dam has broken, we're gonna know everyone's names, and we're not ready for it because there's names on there you'd never expect, like fucking Commander Shepard's on there, The Citadel has been compromised. It's like, okay, finally, it's about time, all this red tape, we finally got around it, good, let's release it. Well, now it's tomorrow, and all I have seen, some people have this binder that they're all holding that says Epstein Files Phase 1, and they're doing this. They're taking prom photos with it. They're just cheesing on top of the binder and still not releasing it. If what you have there are the Epstein files, why don't you make like a fart trapped in my butt and release it? Instead, they're just taking like these photo ops like they're just looking for Instagram updates. Like, what the fuck? It's starting to just feel completely performative. It's feeling like it's just banished to the shadow realm forever. Because I have seen this as a talking point for a while now when people are looking for like approval on things or trying to get into a position of power. I've seen this as a big talking point like, hey, If you choose me, when I get in there, come hell or high water, I don't care whose feelings get hurt, I'm releasing the Epstein files. I'm gonna go in there, I'm gonna take a power stance, lat spread, and teabag this shit, going right into the department, marching in there, slapping the files out of their hand, and I'm putting it in the American public's hands. Take my word for it. Well, now there's a lot of people that can do that, and it's still not happening. The names are still not being released. The most we ever get is these little tiddlywinks of Epstein file morsels that have been known for years, and they parade it around like it's new info. It's so stupid, and I'm beyond tired of it, because there is no doubt so much redacted information that is still not publicly known that I'm fully confident they have access to, especially judging by these pictures they're all posing with, like, here's the Epstein files, I've got them right here. Well, how about you open it and let us take a peek inside if we're that close to releasing it? Like, today was supposed to be the day. At least that's everything I kept reading and getting told. So when is it? When will we finally know all of these names and all of this information? Because it has been so long of the same song and dance. Now, as I've been making this video, a new article just dropped that states that after review of the release documents from today, most of the information has been heavily redacted and previously reported. Also, it's called into question if the information was ever even classified in the first place, and it's drawing, of course, heavy criticism because apparently it boils down to being some of Epstein's phone book. And now I just read another article that said it's being pushed to tomorrow because the FBI director is withholding thousands of pages. It's such a mess. Like, I am fully expecting tomorrow to roll around and still nothing to be there. Hopefully I'm wrong about that. We'll see. But based on what I'm reading from the people that did have access to this huge new information, it boils down to mostly redacted shit, as well as things we already knew, and then some of Epstein's phone book. So when are we actually getting the meat and potatoes, the fucking spaghetti and meatballs of all of these Epstein names and all of this absolutely evil shit that they apparently have had access to for so long but still haven't released? It just feels like I'm perpetually reading BuzzFeed slop headlines in regards to this. The first arrest will shock you. The Epstein files are coming. Okay, that's exciting. When? I'm ready to be shocked. When's that first arrest happening? Why hasn't it happened yet? Like, who is it? Who are you trying to catch? Is it fucking Adam Warlock? Like, why can't we get a handle on them? When is that first arrest happening? Like, if these headlines just keep popping up over and over and over again in regards to the Epstein files, and then there's still nothing that ever gets released. It's at the point now where I really feel like there might not ever be an arrest that comes from it, and there may never come a point where the Epstein files ever get fully released. I also read a couple days ago that allegedly the FBI was working to delete some of the files, so it's just such a fucking disaster. It's so infuriating. And I keep hearing time and time again, like, it's coming, it's almost here. It's set your alarm clock. But it's become like the Bloodborne 2 of documents. It just doesn't exist, it feels like. I guess when Jeffrey Epstein mysteriously found a way to kill himself in prison, like, you know, Tony Stark of Suicide, he killed himself with nothing but a box of scraps and toilet paper. Somehow, all of the evidence and everything he had vanished with him. And now it only lives on in headlines occasionally about, like, well, it's coming, maybe. No, it's actually coming this time, and then it never does. But again, hopefully I'm wrong. Maybe tomorrow is the big day with a lot of new information, a lot of new names, and maybe, God willing, some fucking consequences for the people on the Epstein list. Here's hoping. Fingers crossed. But anyway, just wanted to rant about this briefly. That's about it. So yep. 2 days ago it was tomorrow. Yesterday it was today. Now look at us. In the present. Today. And still no Epstein files. They treat these like Bubble Bass treats pickles on a Krabby Patty. Still no pickles, but it turns out he's just hiding them. They have the files, it seems, and instead of releasing it to the American public, they'd rather just give these binders that say Epstein Files Phase 1 to some influencers, so that way they can pose with it like a prized fish, where they're smiling and laughing about it like they're about to go to homecoming, instead of just releasing that information. It's so fucking weird. They're treating these extremely serious files with child sex traffickers in them as if they had just got like a baseball from their favorite MLB player who threw it into the crowd for them. It's just not being taken seriously. Not only by the people that have the binder, it seems, but by the actual GOP. I was going to mention this yesterday, but I decided to, you know, sit on my swamp ass and just stew. We'll wait to see what they say about it tomorrow. Because I thought there was a chance maybe the House Judiciary Twitter account got hacked with this post. Like, surely they'd release a statement today, but no. they're just going to plug their ears and pretend it didn't happen. But I'm sure a lot of you saw yesterday the actual official House Judiciary Twitter account rickrolled the Epstein files. I shit you not. They posted this tweet, and when you click that link, it takes you to a rickroll. The tweet eventually got deleted, but it was up for hours. It wasn't like a brief thing that some random person scooted into the office and did as a joke. This was something that they posted and kept up for a while. This shit is so outrageous, it has my voice cracking. My vocal folds are left in disbelief like they just watched a David Blaine stunt. Except this isn't like a magic trick or an illusion, this is all very real. They are treating the Epstein files like some kind of joke. This is one of the most infamous child sex traffickers in American history, and they are treating it as if it's not serious. What? And now they're just not going to ever address that this happened. They're just going to ignore it. That's craziness. Now, like I said at the beginning, I didn't expect the Epstein files to be released today because it's been very clear that that's just not coming. And I think we're at the point where even if they do ever release the Epstein files, there is no faith left, no trust that they won't be tampered with. Like, heavily redacted. They did release some things yesterday, but it was all old information. It wasn't anything new. There was like a couple of like tiny new tidbits, but not really. And at the end of the day, like I said, there's going to be so little trust that this hasn't been heavily fucking flubered with. Made that word up, but it sounds like it could apply. Like, it's a Schmeckeldorfing, it feels like, where the information, it might not even be accurate anymore. Because this has been such an absolute clown show. You can't even trust it. I also just don't even think it's ever going to be released. Period. Like, this has been something that they just keep teasing over and over again, like Beyond Good and Evil 2, and it just, nothing ever comes. It all just fizzles out. And then everyone just forgets about it in like 2 days' time. And I'm so tired of that. They had said the information would be released yesterday, and it was going to be huge. Like, they hyped the shit out of it. This is going to be the Super Bowl of Jeffrey Epstein files. We finally have the whole kit and caboodle. This is everything, and there's going to be repercussions. People are going to be thrown in jail. People are going to be arrested. Well, that didn't happen yesterday, so they said it's going to be today. It'll be February 28th at 8 a.m. sharp. It's just the fucking pesky FBI director did a little, shady business over here, and, well, we're getting our handle on it, but it's coming 8 a.m. February 28th. Well, still not here. I didn't expect it to actually be released today, but, much like a growth spurt in my 30s, it would have been a nice surprise to finally have them actually release these things. And I feel like in a week, it won't be here. A month, it still won't be released. And eventually people will just forget that it was ever even mentioned. Or they might make like an offhanded comment about it like, oh no, we released those. What are you talking about? We stayed true to what we said. We released it. And it's just the information that's already been known for fucking years. With like nothing new added to it. Not what was promised. Not what they said was actually coming. With all the arrests, all the jail time, and all these new names and all this new information about these evil fucking people that participated in this child sex trafficking. That has still not been released. And there's still not been consequences. So, when is that ever going to be released? Is it ever? And if it's not, why do you keep pretending that it is? It doesn't make any fucking sense. And it's infuriating. It just feels like all of it is just not being treated seriously at all. The fucking judiciary just making an actual joke out of it, just mocking the Epstein files, really just taking the whole thing of child sex trafficking and boiling it down to a fucking rickroll. That is beyond deplorable. And then just saying like, oh, the files are coming. Nah, they didn't. So what? Like, it's just, there are legitimately, like, nothing is taken seriously anymore by anybody or anything, it feels. I fucking hate it. It's got me spitting. I am covering these monitors in saliva. I am just flabbergasted. I feel like I'm in rock bottom right now, like with the amount of spit that I'm doing here. But I can't help it. It is unbelievable. Let's just set aside this instance of the House Judiciary rickroll. Why in tarnation on God's green earth would you want your House Judiciary to be cringe meme lord Reddit tier losers making rickrolls in the year 2025 of our Lord on anything, let alone something as serious as the Epstein files? How is that not embarrassing? How is that not shameful? I'll stop yapping and ranting about it, but it is just mind-boggling that they can do that. And then nothing happens. They just get to pretend it never happened. They just don't even have the wherewithal to even mention it again or try and explain what led them to thinking that was a good idea, or explaining why the Epstein files that they've promised are still not being released. It's so fucking dumb. It's really about it. See ya. Another Boeing whistleblower has died. What a weird coincidence that is, right? 2 Boeing whistleblowers dying under mysterious circumstances back to back in a matter of only 2 months? Man, that's peculiar, isn't it? Must just be really bad RNG. No reason to investigate that any further, I'm sure. So for those that don't know, being a Boeing whistleblower is more detrimental to your health than smoking cigarettes. At least the cigarettes kill you slowly over a period of years, whereas being a Boeing whistleblower kills you almost immediately. Like, skydiving without a parachute is safer for you than blowing the whistle on Boeing and all of their shadiness. So, a month ago, there was a Boeing whistleblower named John Barnett who was found dead with apparent self-inflicted gunshot wounds, the timing of which was really interesting considering he was at the tail end of an extremely important lawsuit that he was engaged in with Boeing. And according to everyone that knew him, he was extremely excited to be done with that lawsuit, and in fact, shortly before he was found dead, he'd actually told people that if he does turn up dead, just know he didn't do it to himself. Probably circumstantial evidence, that probably doesn't mean anything. Just don't think too hard and accept the shit that they feed you with the official story that he just decided while sitting in his truck to blow his goddamn brains out. That makes a lot of sense here. I stand by my assessment that John Barnett was assassinated by Boeing. I don't believe it's Boeing themselves, but I believe it's a couple high-ranking members within Boeing that are taking matters into their own hands and doing these things. It's the only explanation that makes any level of sense to this. So I made a whole video breaking down the evidence in the John Barnett case, as well as an entire Red Thread episode dedicated to uncovering all of the shadiness and corruption within Boeing. That company is fucked. Jackson, Windigoon, and myself went through the entire history of Boeing, and they are so corrupt it would make Umbrella Corporation blush at how evil Boeing is. It is shocking. So I really do think that these 2 whistleblowers were the victims of some kind of assassination. So let's talk about the most recent whistleblower. His name is Joshua Dean. I learned about it last night while playing Crab Souls, and well, it's not the real name of the game. The name of the game is Another Crab's Treasure, and it's a banger. But while playing this game, chat told me that another Boeing whistleblower had just turned up dead, and I thought they were memeing. And it turns out they weren't. They were actually telling the truth. Oh. Do you see the second Boeing whistleblower got murked? No shot the other whistleblower's dead. No shot. It's real? No. No, I don't believe that. Hold on, I'm looking that shit up right now. No! What? What? It's just in plain sight. Yeah, whistleblower Josh Dean of Boeing supplier Spirit Aerosystems has died. What? Another Boeing whistleblower is dead. 6 hours ago, yeah. Joshua Dean, a former quality auditor at Boeing supplier Spirit Aerosystems and one of the first whistleblowers to allege Spirit leadership had ignored manufacturing defects on the 737 MAX, died Tuesday morning after a struggle with a sudden, fast-spreading infection. Oh, that's interesting. This time it wasn't bullet to the head? They're getting creative with their assassinations. That's crazy. This is the most dangerous thing you can be as a Boeing whistleblower. That's more dangerous than being like a fucking volcano lava taste tester. This shit, it's just in plain sight. His entire family stated he was healthy until after he blew the whistle. He lived a very healthy lifestyle and the illness was sudden and unexpected. Yeah, he contracted that. Stick it to the monneosis from Boeing. Joshua Dean was a quality auditor at Boeing supplier Spirit Aerosystems and was among the first whistleblowers to accuse Spirit leadership of ignoring defects on the 737 MAX, and he died shortly after contracting influenza B, MRSA, and then developing pneumonia. Now, for those that are unaware, Boeing has a history of just ignoring safety precautions and just hiding things. So in the previous case with John Barnett, we actually learned quite a few alarming things, such as There were times where scrap metal was used for Boeing planes in order to meet deadlines. They'd also keep things off the books as much as possible. They even used Dawn dish soap as a lubricant for the aircraft door seals at one point. Then they also used hotel key cards and wet cheesecloths to perform maintenance. Just an absolute smorgasbord of malpractice, at least in my perspective here. Of course, I'm not an aircraft specialist, but using Dawn dish soap and hotel key cards, that doesn't really seem like textbook protocol there. That sounds like something you'd read on WikiHow for a DIY aircraft maintenance at your own home for like an RC aircraft, not a fucking Boeing. So these gentlemen came forward to try and alert the public about what Boeing's been doing, or rather not doing, that they should be, and they've both paid the ultimate price for it. In my eyes, they're heroes for the work they've tried to do here. So being a Boeing whistleblower is basically like just taking a cyanide capsule at this point, it seems. It's just more of a matter of when, not if, you turn up dead, I suppose. Let's go deeper into the case of Joshua Dean here, because this one seems so blatant. His mother and stepfather described him as a health nut who rarely drank and attended church regularly. He started feeling sick around 2 weeks ago. He stayed home from work for a couple days, but things got worse. Sunday, April 21st, is when his mother got a call from him that he was really sick, having trouble breathing, and he went to immediate care, and they told him he had strep throat. She went to check on her son and telling him to call her if he felt worse, and he did call her a couple hours later and said that he was going to the emergency room and that he was scared because they found something in his lungs. He tested positive for influenza B, he tested positive for MRSA, he had pneumonia, his lungs were completely filled up, and from there he just went downhill. This was a stunning turn of events for Dean and his family because he was described as someone who was very healthy. He went to the gym, ran nearly every day, and was very careful about his diet. Quote, "This was his first time ever in a hospital. He didn't even have a doctor because he was never sick. But within days, his kidneys gave out and he was relying on an ECMO life support machine to do the work of his heart and lungs. The night before Dean died, Green said medical staff in Oklahoma did a bronchoscopy on his lungs. The doctor said he'd never seen anything like it before in his life. His lungs were just totally gummed up and like a mesh over them. Unfortunately, it sounds like Dean came down with a severe case of Boeing whistleblower lung, which is a serious medical condition that only affects Boeing whistleblowers in particular. It makes coal miners' lungs look clean in comparison. So I'm not surprised that this was the doctor's first time seeing anything like this, because typically a Boeing whistleblower doesn't even survive long enough to make it to the hospital in one piece. This fucking company is rotten to the core. Green says she asked for an autopsy to determine exactly what killed her son, and results will likely take months. We're not sure what he died of, she said. We know that he had a bunch of viruses, but we don't know if someone did something to him or did he just get real sick. In my unprofessional opinion, I think someone did something to him. I think the infection he contracted was Boeing hitman disease. I think he was poisoned. This is someone that took their health extremely seriously, and only a short period of time after coming forward with information about Boeing's negligent practices does he get extremely sick and then die, all in a short span of time, with something that doctors had never even seen happen before. That's a little suspicious. And this is the second whistleblower that has died under mysterious circumstances in 2 months. Wow, what a crazy coincidence. To me, this feels like someone or a group of people within Boeing is taking matters into their own hands and making an example out of these whistleblowers, because Boeing is a massive company with so many people in it. And thus, there's a lot of people that are privy to all of the shady shit that they've been doing over the past couple of decades. So, by sending this message, not so subtly, that whistleblowers don't have a long life expectancy, it makes people afraid to come forward with their own accounts. It makes more whistleblowers afraid to come forward. And I think that's the goal with all of it. That, at least in my opinion. Like I said, we did a full dive on Boeing for that Red Thread episode, and this company has been corrupt for a long time. I would not put it past them to do something like this. Maybe not the company as a whole, but at least a couple of bad actors within the company, at the very least. Now let's get into some of the things that Dean was alleging. So he had a degree in engineering, and he took his first job at Spirit in 2019, but was let go amid the layoffs during the pandemic. He then returned to work for the company as a quality auditor. He took the job very seriously and grew increasingly frustrated with what he described as a culture of not counting defects correctly, which is very commonplace when it comes to this. During 2 interviews in January, Dean said that Spirit pressured employees not to report defects in order to get planes out of the factory faster. This is something that John Barnett also said. Now, I'm not saying they don't want you to go out there and inspect a job. You know they do. But if you make too much trouble, you will get the Josh treatment. You will get what happened to me. That's what Dean told NPR. Dean was fired in April of last year in retaliation, he said, for flagging improperly drilled holes in fuselages. I think they were sending out a message to anybody else, Dean said. If you are too loud, we will silence you. Dean described what he saw while working for Spirit in a deposition for a lawsuit filed by the company's shareholders who accused the company of misleading investors by attempting to conceal excessive numbers of defects at the Kansas factory. He was not a plaintiff in the case. In the shareholder lawsuit, Dean said he flagged a significant defect, misdrilled holes in the AFT pressure bulkhead of the 737 MAX fuselages months before he was fired. His deposition lays out a series of pivotal dates. October 2022. In his auditor role, Dean realizes Spirit workers misdrilled holes on the 737 MAX AFT pressure bulkhead, representing a potential threat to maintaining cabin pressure during flight. The lawsuit accuses the company of concealing the problem. April 13, 2023. Boeing publicly reveals learning of a separate defect related to the tail fin fittings on the certain 737 MAX aircraft. Spirit then confirms that defect. April 26, 2023. Spirit fires Dean, saying he failed to flag the tail fin issue. In his testimony, Dean said he told the company officials that he might have missed the tail fin defect because he had just discovered the problem with the bulkheads he inspected and was focused on that. August 23, 2023. Boeing announces it has found fastener holes in the AFT pressure bulkhead on certain 737 MAX airplanes that don't match its specifications, resulting in snowmen due to the multiple holes' elongated shape. It's the problem Dean flagged 10 months earlier. On the same day, Spirit releases a statement acknowledging the issue. The shareholder lawsuit accuses Spirit of concealing the bulkhead defect not only from investors, but also apparently from Boeing. It's important to note that Boeing is currently in talks to acquire Spirit altogether, and in the interview with NPR, Joshua Dean predicted it would be difficult to replace the experienced workforce that Spirit lost during the pandemic. The mechanics aren't as experienced, neither are the inspectors. We've just lost that. He then showed a little bit of optimism for the new CEO who was taking over, saying that he has the chance to be the new sheriff in town, and he closes by saying, "We need to make sure that there is no retaliation or intimidation. This culture of, you're too loud, you'll be moved or silenced, that's got to go." Unfortunately, it doesn't seem like that culture went anywhere. In fact, they are silencing people in the biggest possible way, by making it so they can never speak again because they're dead. That is what it seems like to me. This is a problem that runs so deep with Boeing. It's in Spirit, their supplier, and Boeing itself. This is unacceptable. Like, the planes are in terrible condition. There's problems almost every single day with Boeing flights malfunctioning and having all kinds, like oodles and oodles of issues. It really feels like it's only a matter of time before a fatal incident occurs with one of Boeing's aircrafts that would have been entirely preventable if they actually just followed their own safety protocol and actually listened to the quality auditors and the people that are actually supposed to be performing maintenance on these things. It's so baffling to me that we've reached this point where they're so focused on just pumping shit out to meet deadlines that they don't really care if it's put together well. These are things that hold thousands of people's lives daily, and they're just shipping it out as cheaply and as fastly as possible while hiding as many of the defects as they can for as long as they can. That is frightening. Fucking frightening. And the people that are speaking out about it seem to be in an extraordinary amount of danger for some reason. Super weird how 2 whistleblowers just turn up dead under really interesting circumstances so close together. It just, the whole thing reeks of corruption. My heart breaks for the family and friends of John Barnett and Joshua Dean. Like I said, I really do view them as heroes. Whistleblowers are extremely important. To hold these companies accountable and to try and do the right thing is not easy. As that headline said, it takes tremendous courage. You take a huge risk. And unfortunately for these two, it seems like that risk cost them everything. It's super sad. And I really think that it's just right there in plain sight that Boeing has some kind of hand in it. It's fucking sickening. I think Boeing is an evil company. I think Spirit is an evil company. Like, this is just, it's craziness. It's fucking horrifying. So I want to talk about this a little bit. That's it. See ya. I've used Uber and Lyft hundreds of times each, Uber more than Lyft, and I've never had a notably awful experience before. You know, I've never gotten into a car and felt unsafe. You know, I look at my driver and he's wearing like a trench coat and sharpening a hacksaw and then winks at me. I've never had like a really bad time with ride sharing. The only time it got wacky and weird was one time I took an Uber leaving the bar, and on the way home, I was convinced I was in the car with a prophet, like an angel. We were driving on the interstate, just two boys being dudes, and out of nowhere, the Uber driver pulls a prophecy out of his asshole. He said, "This guy's about to hit the median." And at first, I didn't know what he was talking about. I thought it was like a riddle that I had to solve or something to get money off of the Uber rides. I was like, oh, the answer is time, you know? But then I realized he was talking about the car in front of us, obviously. And it felt really weird to me because the car wasn't doing anything weird. We were behind them for a little while, like maybe a mile or two, and they weren't driving erratically or recklessly. They didn't look like a drunk driver or anything. And then out of nowhere, a couple of seconds after he said that, he like willed it into existence. The car swerved and scraped against the median and then tried to get back into the lane. Out of fucking nowhere. I was like, oh my god, we are living in a simulation. But yeah, that was my weirdest experience with Uber and ride sharing in general. But of course I've seen the horror stories, like the absolutely awful ones, and this is one of those. This is a pretty special one.
You know, I'm just trying to ask you to go to speed limit is all.
I'm saying I'm gonna go.
Oh. Okay. Okay.
Don't really know what's going on in her car here. She's created a little crime scene there. Like, stepping into this vehicle looks like you'd be stepping into your neighbor's shitty haunted house on Halloween. It's just really goofy looking. I don't get it. I guess it's supposed to be early Halloween decorations. She's got like a blow-up sex doll in the passenger seat. Or maybe it's there to like prevent her passengers from getting up front. Like, hey, you can't sit there. Clearly, this inflatable Mr. Krabs doll's taking that seat. So just get in the back, alright? You know, I don't even know what the fuck it is. I mean, maybe it's an inflatable clown or something. I couldn't tell you, but it's pretty weird stuff. Now, what happened is the passenger asked if they could roll down the window and drive the speed limit, which I think is a pretty reasonable request because this lady's out here driving like it's Grand Theft Auto 5. I was half expecting her to try and ramp this vehicle off of a parked tow truck. She's treating it like it's Fast and Furious universe and she's trying to catch Dominic Toretto. So it's not like the passenger's being an asshole or anything, just asking, hey, can you drive the speed limit so you don't kill both of us here? And that just sets her off. She loses her goddamn mind there. Slow down! Fucking yanks on the e-brake and does a 360. Suck on this, pussy fart! You can hear, like, this tire start screeching. She completely takes her eyes off the road, turns around and starts swiping at the camera like she's a kaiju, like Godzilla trying to knock over a building. And meanwhile, the passenger's laughing the entire time. The absolute fucking dick on this man, the fucking balls of pure adamantium to laugh through an experience like this is inspiring. They could have very easily died here. The driver went feral and totally forgot they were operating a vehicle. This could have ended up like the Billy Madison scene where O'Doyle Rules just fucking shoots their car off a cliff like a missile. And meanwhile, the whole time, the guy's just giggling about it.
Alright.
The car now.
Well, you got to. Hey, you're gonna have to open that trunk. I'm not going anywhere until you open that trunk.
Unironically, she starts squealing. Literally squealing. This is what a small dog sounds like when it's trying to intimidate a larger dog, but it's also very afraid as well. It actually sounds like somebody stepped on a toad. It is shocking that a human being can make this noise with their vocal cords. This is what it sounds like to smoke 15 packs a day.
Alright.
The car now.
Well, you got to. Hey, you're gonna have to open that trunk.
Sorry to hit you with the surprise instant replay on the Jumbotron. It's just I'm so impressed with her ability to hit this screeching note. This is the brown note. Like, hearing that makes a human being involuntarily shit themselves. This is such an abhorrent sound. It's like someone's recorder broke, but they still desperately tried to play hot cross buns on it.
Get out. Get out. Get out.
Nope. You're gonna have to get my bag out of your car.
I just want my bag, man. That's all I want was my bag. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm no Phoenix Wright ace attorney, but I'm pretty sure this is a highly illegal act here. You can't just pull over on a busy interstate and kick out the passenger, because they could easily just get hit by a car and die, and you're fully responsible for it. What a remarkably reckless decision from this asshole here. But credit where credit is due, she did slam him with a real humdinger, saying, "Fuck you and fuck your mom too." So she tossed in a "your mom" there, so she really got him. I was really hoping she'd double down and go for a D's nuts as well. Just be like, "Ah, yeah, you can you get off at the D's exit and find another lift. D's nutties." Then she fucking peels out, and drifts in there. But she handled herself like a professional, only sticking with a "your mother" statement as she launched his suitcase across the road.
Me too.
So she's running around barefoot like a hobbit, threatening an Uno reverse card, saying, "Well, I'm also filming everything, so that way we have two angles of how stupid I am and how reckless of a driver I am." I don't think there's any world or any multiverse out there where there's a single reality where what she was doing was justifiable. She was driving extremely fast and reckless. She turned around to swipe at the guy's phone while driving extremely fast, tires screeching, and then pulling off to the side of the road to kick him out. Pretty hard to defend stuff, I'd say. As she blasts off back onto the road, she nearly clipped the van that was next to her because she tried to get back too early, and that would have been an absolute catastrophe. Her road rage almost got even more people hurt. Then she left this guy stranded. I'm assuming he was able to find his way back to civilization after being dropped off in the middle of fucking nowhere on the interstate. And yeah, I don't really think this is the best Lyft experience. I would imagine this is at the absolute least 2 stars, I would say. It has to be. Because this was not great. This was not, you know, spectacular service, I would argue. But at least he survived the trip. I was getting worried when she was driving the car and slamming backwards, screeching tires and shit. I thought that was just going to be the end of him. I thought we were looking at like some Blair Witch Project found footage kind of shit, but luckily everyone was okay. That's about it. So yeah. How far would you go for TikTok views? Would you sell your soul? Slap your mother? Slap my mother? You better not. I'd come over there and bite your dick off. But what about going to jail for 3 years? Does that sound reasonable for TikTok views in exchange for that prison sentence? How bad do you want it? What's your limit? Would you throw away 3 years of your life just for a few TikTok likes? If your answer to that question is no, you're a pussy, you're a coward, and you will never make it as a viral TikTok superstar sensation like this guy and his friends. I'm kind of underselling the story. Not only did the main guy in this video get 3 years, but his 2 friends that helped him make it got 2 years in prison. So check this out. What an epic prank, am I right? That shit was too lit. I almost spit out my apple juice. They got him good. Those fucking idiots never even saw it coming. The stupid conductor of this train, multi-track drifting around, thinking he's gonna get his passengers to their destination on time. Nuh-uh. Not on this cool guy's watch. He busts out the desk, he pops in a cigarette to smoke. I mean, he's probably the coolest fucking guy I've ever seen in my life. He's got the desk out so that way he can have optimal angles to look at the Tinder profile pics of girls that don't meet his standards. He's definitely a kissless virgin by choice because no girl is worthy of his perfect lips because he's just the ultimate Adonis. So he's decided, let's smoke it up a little bit. The train, it doesn't matter. So he stops it, he says, hey, public transportation can suck on my fucking asshole. And that's exactly what they do. And now he'll be sucking on some buttholes in prison. This happened in Morocco. He was originally facing 5 to 10 years in jail, but that sentence was lightened to 3 years, and his 2 friends that helped him film this have 2 years in jail now. And I gotta say, it was worth it. This is the coolest video I've ever seen in my life. I'm sure all the other inmates are going to be blown away by this dude's TikTok clout. They won't be able to get enough of his stories about this video going viral. Oh man, they're going to love that. Now obviously the main douchebag here is extremely pathetic, but I think the saddest people in this video are the one filming and the one that give him the coffee cup. These two goofy goobers got 2 years in jail and got none of the internet points for it. They didn't even have their names associated with this. They were faceless nobodies who got roped into this guy's awful, dumb fucking TikTok video and are now going to jail for 2 years for it, with none of the minor celebrity status attached to it. They got nothing. They're going to jail because they couldn't tell their friend that the idea was fucking stupid. These two guys are absolutely your classic yes men, too afraid to say no to anything and then let you make the worst fucking decisions. You don't want friends like this that always say yes. But these guys go the extra mile and not only say yes, but encourage the awful decision and actively participate in it. Just out of pure desperation for just the tiniest bit of internet clout. They just want to latch on to the nipples of the pseudo-internet celebrity and get breastfed a little bit. Just suckle on the titties and just a little bit of internet clout, which they didn't get. But they did get a nice prison sentence for it. Now, not to sound like your grandpa complaining about loud music, but TikTok is truly poisoning the minds of some young people. Like, this shit is crazy. Everyone thinks they're the protagonist of their own anime. Everyone has this main character energy about them where they are the center of the universe. And this is just the perfect example of it. I couldn't be happier that this douchebag and his friends are actually going to prison for this. They're just attention-seeking public nuisances, an actual hemorrhoid to society. Not to go full Joker on you. But yeah, TikTok is absolutely poisoning some people on there. It's taking us backwards down the evolutionary ladder. 100 years from now, I probably have to rediscover fire and relearn basic language, because all humans will know is stupid fucking TikTok dances and shit like that. But maybe it's bigger than that. Maybe TikTok is like this intergalactic plague. It's the reason we haven't been visited by aliens. It truly is like the great filter. So when a civilization becomes technologically advanced enough to reach like tier 1 or tier 2, all roads lead to TikTok, so then they create TikTok, which bumps their civilization back down to the fucking Stone Ages, so they can never visit us or expand past their planet, you know what I mean? It's like the Flood from Halo, this parasite that feeds off us and keeps us stupid. To be honest, this just kind of looks like an elaborate suicide attempt that didn't work. Like the thought process here, I'm gonna sit in front of a train and hope that it stops in time. Like, the amount of faith you have to have in a complete stranger there is mind-boggling, hoping that the conductor's paying enough attention to stop in time before he just fucking flattens you and sends you to the afterlife, fucking banishing you to the shadow realm. Like, it's crazy. And since everything becomes a trend on TikTok, and this was a very popular video, I'm shocked it didn't become a trend. I thought for sure this would be like the hashtag stop a train trend, where you like go on the tracks and you throw your ass in a circle, clapping your cheeks to some pop song and hope that the train stops, and then people just getting blasted by trains going all over the news. I'm actually surprised that didn't happen. Now, granted, this train isn't exactly like Thomas the Tank Engine gone wild. It seems to be moving at a slower pace than most trains I see, but it is still an extremely dangerous stunt and an extremely annoying one. Everyone on that train is now late to their shit just so you could have your 10-second TikTok video. So yeah, I definitely think the punishment fits the crime here. 3 years sounds reasonable. 2 years for his friends. I'm glad all the douchebags got thrown into the slammer. Huge round of applause to that decision made over there. And yeah, that's about it. So yeah. For almost a decade now, I've said multiple times how the worst content on YouTube comes from YouTube pranksters. There is nothing more deplorable, heinous, or dog shit than a YouTuber doing pranks. Watching a prank video is more painful than walking in on your significant other cheating on you. There's only 2 unforgivable sins in the Lord's eyes, and one of them is watching pranksters, and the second one is not liking anime. It's just so fucking gross. This shit is so bad. It like really fucking terrible, and the douchebags behind the prank channels are some of the most insufferable assholes the internet has to offer. The man who goatseed himself is probably a more likable content creator than the entirety of the YouTube pranksters combined. His asshole has more personality than all of the androids behind these garbage prank videos. It's truly abhorrent stuff. And you know what I'm talking about, the walking around in public and pissing on people's shoes and then saying, it's just a prank, bro, so they can't get mad at me. And if they get mad, they're the bad guy. I'm the victim here. I told him it was a prank. I don't know why he's upset. I just spit in his face. That kind of douchebag. Or swapping grandma's medicine out with ketamine, gone sexual. The worst people on the internet are the ones that are pulling pranks. Now, of course, they're all fake, but not every child knows that. And today, I'm going to tell you the story about a kid named Timothy Welks. Timothy Welks was a 20-year-old kid in Tennessee who grew up watching YouTube pranksters and aspired to be one himself. But he was never in on the joke. He never believed Santa Claus was fake. He thought the pranks he was seeing was real. And he had a plan to become a YouTube sensation prankster. His plan was to charge a family with butcher knives wearing a mask, and when he pulled this prank off 2 days ago, he was fatally shot and killed. What's especially wild about this story is this kind of prank, the robbery prank, isn't some unknown, taboo, uncharted territory kind of thing. He wasn't like Christopher Columbus discovering a new type of prank. This man was doing a very common prank. The robbery prank is one of the most common ones these insufferable assholes on YouTube will do, where they stage a robbery as a prank. They'll charge people with weapons like a fucking chainsaw or sometimes unloaded weapons or blades and shit while they're dressed as like Scary Steve from Minecraft and be like, give me your wallet and all your condoms, shit like this, and like shake them down for it. And then they'll be like, oh, it's just a prank, bro, you're not actually getting robbed. And like, oh, you jokesters, oh, you rapscallions. And that's the whole video. It's absolutely fucking terrible. But the people they prank are obviously in on it. It's all staged. Timothy Wilkes and other people like him don't know that. So Timothy chose someone that wasn't in on it, and he charged them with butcher knives as he was dressed up like he was from fucking Comic-Con, and he was shot and killed. And I don't know if this is real, but there is a source that was released by one of the publications that said it was the audio from the incident, and since this was filmed for a prank, there is clearly film of it that exists, but that hasn't been released. But I did hear audio, and his last words after the gunshots were, "It's just a prank, bro," as he was dying and crying. I don't know if that's real, but there is no doubt in my mind when this did happen, he absolutely shouted, "It's just a prank, bro." And those were most likely some of his last words. That is some of the saddest shit. You couldn't write a more poetically pitiful conclusion. To have been misled by these awful people on the internet to such a degree that you end up giving your life for the sake of a fucking prank. What an awful, awful, awful way to go out. The person I feel the most bad for is, of course, the man that shot him. He was a guy that was just acting in self-defense. He saw two people, Timothy Wilkes and his friend, both dressed up in masks, charging him with butcher knives, and he armed himself and shot. The dude's not like James Bond or Rambo. He wasn't going around hunting bad guys. He was getting charged by two people he didn't know with knives, so he armed himself and defended himself. And luckily he hasn't been charged with anything because he shouldn't be. It was clearly self-defense. Timothy Wilkes and his group were 100% in the wrong here, and it takes a real fucking psychopath to pull a prank like this. It takes someone extremely delusional to think that this is somehow an okay prank or anything like that. These fucking pranks are so stupid. The punchline is literally, ha ha ha, you thought you were about to die. Now, of course, in all the other ones, it's all fake and the people are clearly in on it, but in a case like this, Timothy Wilkes literally thought this was going to be a good prank. Like, he'd go up to these people, make them fear for their lives, and then at the end they'd all be laughing, slapping ass, and then grabbing themselves a little beer or something. I just don't understand how someone could be so incredibly delusional. It's baffling. It's absolutely shocking and disturbing that someone could actually think that charging strangers with a butcher knife and then saying it's just a prank would make everything okay. It's fucking wild. But yeah, I wanted to just talk about this story a little bit because for years now I've mentioned how these insufferable asshole YouTubers that command their audience of 11-year-olds literally brainwash them into thinking horrible things are okay or normal, and that a lot of these kids don't recognize that the shit they do is fake, and that's bad. and dangerous. And this is exactly what I was talking about. Timothy Wilkes isn't the only kid that believes the pranks he sees on YouTube are real. I'm sure there's others, but none of the other ones are crazy enough to charge people with knives and wearing masks like it's the fucking purge. So it's just one of those freak things that was always going to happen when you have absolute fucking degenerates making dog shit pranks where they're like kidnapping their friends and putting them through Saw games and then saying it's just a prank at the end and then everyone's all smiles. Fucking ripping their dick off and then just saying it's a prank and they're like, oh shit, you got me, yeah, my penis is gone, should have seen it coming, that was a fucking epic prank, friend. It's crazy. Fucking crazy. Horrible situation here, and I feel horrible for the guy that ended up killing Timothy in self-defense. That's gotta be a traumatic experience for him, and, well, it's just a situation that should have never happened in the first place. Terrible. That's it. See ya. Have you seen this bird bandit? Please search for man with parrots in McDonald's robbery. This actually looks like some kind of marketing campaign for McDonald's back when they had the Hamburglar. Is this real? Is this not a marketing stunt?
Searching for this man they have dubbed the Bird Bandit.
He actually looks like a One Piece character. Like, what? This character design is exquisite. And that's a real parrot?
Check him out with his friends there on his shoulder. Investigators are accusing the man of robbing someone with a knife.
Yep, police say the
well,
same
that's
man
not
was
very
later
nice.
spotted in another store
What a jerk.
carrying the 3 birds that you see right there.
Wait, 3 birds? I wish you would stop graying it out when I pause it. Hold on, let me find the picture of him. It's a little blurry to tell. He got 3 birds on him? It's like that guy from John Wick. Man, and that is a mean goatee. It's coming to like a dagger's point. Also, I like this right here. Anyone with any information is asked to contact police. I think if you've ever seen this guy in your life, you probably remember him. This is like the lowest level attempt at concealing your identity ever. He's wearing the most identifiable shirt and then 3 fucking live birds on him while wearing... I don't even... What kind of hat is that? It's like some kind of old swashbuckler's hat.
Accused of robbing a McDonald's on Arlington Boulevard in the Seven Corners area Tuesday around 8 a.m. Police say he pulled a knife and demanded money at the counter. Police
Oh, he's even got a pair of sunglasses on. Never mind, he actually did try with the disguise. I've got to say, I'm a little disappointed in the pants. He's got a great shirt, but lame-ass pants and flip-flops. His stylist just gave up halfway through the fit.
With 2 live parrots. They appear to be macaws.
Wait, they said 3 though.
To his cowboy
Is this not
hat
one?
and a 3rd on his shoulder. Reaction from McDonald's customers who say they feel bad for the feathered participants.
Honestly, that's really crazy. Like, why would you bring a pet? Don't crime with the birds.
Police
True.
describe the suspect
Agree. I agree with her.
20s or early 30s.
Well, let's not. Okay. Also, let's not get rid of the theory that the birds aren't the ones controlling him, pulling the strings. Like he could be a victim in this as well.
Something like that before.
They can talk.
God, it'd be so cool if the birds were threatening the cashier.
Any type of role in the solving
I wouldn't even be mad if I was the
Fairfax
cashier.
County, Jackie Benson, News 4.
Imagine the birds roll up and they just start like saying some vile shit. Did you hear about the guy that got arrested in Nebraska because he got with a bull in his car? Yeah, it's this video, right? He got arrested? Even my mom sent me this video. She thought it was the coolest thing ever. I didn't know he got arrested, though. I only saw, like, a little clip of it.
Around 10 a.m., the Norfolk Police Division responded to
What's he arrested for? Having a good time? Being a good Uber?
On 275 with a Watusi bull in his passenger seat.
The officers received a call.
I think that's fine. Oh, wow, the cow shit all over this.
They thought that it was going to be...
Wow.
a cow in.
I can't say I ever saw the back of the car. This thing's got a lot of features. The license plate is boy and dog, a custom license plate for that, and then a decal that says lice, and it's covered in bullshit. Wow. I mean, I have no doubt the bull was scared, but goodness. Huh. I really want to know what this says. Looks like it says concussion beef. What an interesting guy. Yeah, I only saw like a small clip of this. I thought it was just like a cool way of transporting this cow. I thought he was like a VIP or something.
They thought that it was going to be, you know, like a calf, something smaller, something that actually fit.
What is that it said on the side? Best car?
Calf, something smaller.
Best car citizen,
Something that actually fit inside the vehicle.
And the vehicle was big enough. Well, technically.
As a result, the officer performed a traffic stop and addressed
He looks like a nice enough guy.
Violations that were occurring with that particular
best car entry
situation. Animal back home and to leave the city.
Meyer and Howdy Doody are on their
literally
way back
told him to
home
get out
and
of
no
town.
one was hurt. From Norfolk News Channel, Nebraska, Andrew Pfeiffer.
I mean, that seems like a cool battle vehicle as well. Like, should Mad Max ever happen, I think training this bull to get ready to impale other riders and shit is probably a good call. He seems like a cool guy. What was his name? Lee Meyer. Watch the video about how Kim Jong-un used YouTube prank videos as a way to kill his brother. Kill him with what? Cringe? What? There's no way that's real. I knew his brother died. I didn't know it was a fucking YouTube prank. The prank show that led to an assassination. How North Korea assassinated Kim Jong-un's brother. Let me see. There's no way this was from a prank. In 2017, 2 unsuspecting women carried out a political assassination of Kim Jong-nam, the elder half-brother of North Korean dictator Kim Jong-un, thinking they were participating in a prank TV show. Holy shit, wait, what? In 2016-2017, 2 young women were separately approached by men to perform a series of prank videos for YouTube. One was from Indonesia, the other Vietnam. They were paid a small amount of money to run up to strangers and smear lotion on their faces, then apologize and run away. Wait, where's the assassination? Kim Jong-nam was in Kuala Lumpur airport when 2 women smeared his face with a powerful VX nerve agent. The CCTV footage of the incident shows him at the airport's information desk seeking medical help. He claims he felt dizzy after 2 women grabbed his face. He died within 20 minutes of the incident. She revealed she was recruited by a man named James, claiming to be a TV producer. For months, the 2 women were groomed to smear random people with lotion and creams. All this while they thought they were participating in a prank show with hidden cameras. Whoa! Wow. I had no idea. I thought this was just like a straight up assassination. I didn't know there was a deeper layer where the people that killed him didn't know they killed him. Hundreds of goats roam Bay Area neighborhood after escaping enclosed. Oh my god. These hooligans. We've got security camera footage. The squad's rolling deep. Lock your doors. Don't come out. Oh man, they just robbed this place. This is what I must imagine. This is what I imagine it must have looked like when Noah was trying to get like animals onto the ark. Man, that just doesn't stop. Who had all of these goats? Where are they escaping from? Pepperidge Farms? God damn. They're still going. Holy shit. Hey, welcome to freedom. Enjoy the American dream, my friends. Godspeed. Damn, still going, huh? A herder and their dog came to the rescue and corralled the animals back into their pen. No shot. There's like 1,000 goats here. How the fuck would he have gathered all of them? There's no way he got all of the goats back. they follow each other. Yeah, but even still, there's no way he'd get all of the goats back. Like, some of these goats came from, like, all over the place. Like, in driveways and probably going into backyards. No way. There's definitely still some rogue goats on the loose out there. A very good herder dog, that's how. I mean, fucking Airbud couldn't get all of these goats back. There's too many. I mean, I've never herded goats, but I mean, I've done the next best thing. I've done the tedious side quests, or the tedious quests in RuneScape where you have to herd some shit. It's a pain in the ass. How many of you are familiar with this story? This was called the Cookie Monster back in 2008. Two girls that steal from the Girl Scouts. And it's actually kind of deep. Like, it gets wild. I won't spoil the ending or anything, but it gets kind of silly. And I'd never heard of this before, but I guess it was a big deal back in 2008.
Basically, me and my friend Stephanie, we needed some money. We saw a girl selling Girl Scout cookies. We saw an envelope with money in it, and I grabbed it, and she drove away.
That's free money, baby.
Why did you do it? Because we needed money. We just wanted money.
What did you...
I think the Girl Scouts should be traveling with, like, a safe, like a lockbox, maybe, and armed security guards. Because this is not the first time I've heard of them being robbed. It seems like that's kind of common. Like, they set up their Girl Scout cookie stands outside of Walmart or Publix or something, and then someone just comes by and just... fucking mine.
What about the people who would say, all right, you know, it's one thing to steal money, it's another thing to do it from a 9-year-old girl selling Girl Scout cookies?
I mean, money's money. I mean, I feel bad it was a 9-year-old girl, but there was $150 in that envelope, and I wanted that money, and it was mine.
How brutally honest. Like an actual comic book villain. Out here teaching life lessons. $150 easy payday. The only problem was we got caught. And I would have got away with it too if it wasn't for those meddling grocery store security cameras.
I just want to say that I'm sorry for offending the Girl Scout organization, but other than that, that's it.
I like the word offending there. As if that was the problem, like she insulted them and they took it personally or something. Instead of, I apologize for stealing from the Girl Scout organization, it's, I'm sorry for hurting their feelings. So, pretty smart criminal overall. But she's not the star of the show. This was mainly the sidekick, the Robin to the real Batman, Stephanie Woods.
I mean, some people might say...
You'll see her in just a minute.
I heard one person
that doesn't... It's not her money. I mean, it is. Girl was selling it, but it's not like she was gonna make that money. So, it doesn't really bother me. The only thing that bothers me is my charges.
Those neurons are not firing.
What was the other crime that you had been charged with?
Domestic battery.
Oh, huge.
Pretty much, we just
there
saw
she
the
is.
Girl Scouts with their little
protagonist.
Table,
but it's a crime.
I know it's a crime, but it was an easy crime. it was easy.
True.
It was sitting right there. I mean, there's
literally taking candy from a baby. Like, you just stealing from a 9-year-old? Like, what are they gonna do? Put up a fight? No, sir. Who's a 9-year-old gonna beat? Not an adult. No shot. Like that. Yeah, that's easy crime. She's not wrong. She's making a great point. What a fucking maniac.
There's a lesson learned now, but
what's the lesson you say that you could learn out of this?
Probably not to get caught, or maybe not to steal.
I mean, do you have any remorse about stealing from a 9-year-old girl?
Right now, no, because I'm kind of pissed because I have charges and we had to give the money back anyway, so now I'm pretty pissed.
Net loss,
but
unfortunately.
I mean, some people might say it's...
I don't feel sadness for that little girl. I mean, she's getting a lot of money right now from people who feel bad for her. So
is she in the same parking lot? I just noticed she like pointed over there. Are they still selling cookies? Like, once this camera comes off, Stephanie Woods might just make her way over there, just meander over and steal a couple extra envelopes of cash from the Girl Scouts. Return to the scene of the crime, lightning striking twice in the same place. After this, a few years later, she got arrested again. Still can't get rid of the Cookie Monster name, by the way. It's what she's forever known for. And sentenced to 6.5 years in prison. Not from stealing from Girl Scouts this time. That was just her gateway drug to a harder drug. heroin. So, yep. A pretty expected conclusion, if I'm being honest. You know, this is something I think a lot of people saw coming. But she must have hired Saul Goodman because initially she was facing 9.5 years. But she took a plea deal, so it worked out for her. 6 years, rent-free, long con. True, she won't need to worry about gas money in jail. She's out of jail now, though. This was 2014, and she served 6.5 years, assuming she did the whole sentence. Like, she's out. So if your daughter's in the Girl Scouts, tell her to sleep with one eye open, because Stephanie Woods could be right around the corner. She's like the boogeyman. Being smart has its drawbacks. Yeah, that's what I was thinking, too, listening to her speak. Like, damn, she's quite intelligent. One of those true criminal genius masterminds. A victim of her own hubris, unfortunately. What happened to the other girl? I don't know who the other girl was. Stephanie Woods was really the star. I don't know shit about the other girl. I couldn't find any info on her. Maybe someone in chat knows, for someone that's a little more familiar with the story than I am. In 2009, she was also arrested for robbery and kidnapping. She pleaded guilty. Man, I tell you, you steal money from the Girl Scouts one time, and then all of a sudden you're shooting up heroin in the bathtub and kidnapping kids and robbing other places. She stole like $400 from a gas station as well. Girl Scouts set her up. Oh yeah, maybe this was entrapment. Like the Girl Scouts deliberately left an envelope with like $150 like sneaking out of it on the side of the table, and they all turned around in order to catch some would-be thieves. You might be onto something. That's how they got my uncle. Fun fact, they also dined and dashed to Denny's 3 weeks earlier. The vid on it is called Girl Scout Cookie Money Theft. Okay, I've got to see that.
All I could say is that I'm really sorry.
Stephanie Woods seems contrite, claiming she's been turned into a cookie money monster. The 18-year-old convicted just days ago.
They actually brought
from a Girl Scout.
They brought the Girl Scout in to testify? Yeah, that's the bitch that stole our money. That fucking heartless fiend. Yeah, that's her. I recognize her. Put her in the slammer.
Even though I think it'd be really unfair if I got 60 days in jail.
A 17-year-old
What do you mean?
who's yet to be charged was with her in both the Denny's and Girl Scout thefts, and was.
Oh, now we get to learn about the
take
sidekick?
stand, but Wood's attorney was nervous. She was going to turn against his client, so she took the plea.
The family
was despite this flip of the finger and then shove of our camera last week in court.
Hey, Stephanie, come on.
I don't have
Hey,
much of an
come
attitude
on.
anymore, really, except for the other day. But that was just anger. So what can I say?
Her attorney
Thus,
Wood's
an
plea of
attitude.
No contest was the best avenue, given the conflicting statements from her younger co-defendant.
Oh, there's still more.
It's the Girl Scout cookie thief like you've never seen her before, crying.
Damn,
in
she was a
court
celebrity.
After the judge throws the book at her.
An out-of-control drug user, and sent her away to get her life back on track. She will have up to 3 years to do just that.
Holy shit.
The road for 18-year-old Stephanie
Wait, what the
Woods. She
fuck?
arrived-
Wait, so she was sentenced even before the 6.5 years? Wait, did I just miss that in the article? So she just bounces from prison to prison. So she had a 3.5-year sentence before the 6.5? There's still more?
From juvenile detention to the county jail, more punishment for Stephanie Woods, the so-called Girl Scout cookie cash thief.
Another sentencing for Stephanie Woods.
I'm adding an extra year because I just
A
hate the
juvenile
letters
judge
from
had
your
already
fans.
ordered Woods into custody and into drug treatment, but Judge Cohen says it should stay, and he gives Stephanie 3 days in jail as a deterrent.
The judge, I think, did the right thing. I really do.
Damn, what a story. Yeah, that shit is deep. All starting from stealing cookies from stealing money from the Girl Scouts. Wild. Crazy how it all ended up. Well, I guess not really crazy. Kind of expected. I really do wonder what her friend's doing. I wonder if she also had this kind of trajectory. She was given 2 years of probation for the drugs, after which she committed 10 probation offenses, including violating curfew, hanging with criminals, lying to her probation officer, giving an officer a fake ID, not doing community service, and stealing $400 from a gas station. Allegedly. That also could be a false flag operation from the Girl Scouts. We don't know for sure yet. This is another one of those sad situations where I have to admit Twitch chat was right and I look like a bumbling imbecile now. About a month ago, chat was trying to convince me that there was a viral TikTok challenge that was getting people to steal cars and sometimes crash them for views, and I wrote that off as a bunch of baloney. I said, I doubt that's an actual trend, probably just one stupid asshole did it, called it a challenge, and no one ever followed. But it turns out I was wrong. Not only is this boogeyman real, but it actually has led to the death of 4 teenagers this week. Somehow, the challenges continue to get more and more brain dead and dangerous. This generation of Tide Pod eating and hurting yourself for views on TikTok is reaching an absolutely absurd level of wildness. So, it's called the Kia Challenge. It's also not really a challenge, it's more of just a ruin your life speedrun tutorial. Basically, the only goal to be completed with the Kia Challenge is to steal a car and post yourself stealing the car on TikTok. It honestly sounds like it's something made by the CIA to catch potential car thieves. You're fucking instructing them to post evidence of their crime online, making it the easiest slam dunk arrest ever. But anyway, the Kia Challenge was videos that were teaching others how to steal Kias and Hyundais specifically, because of a massive vulnerability in many models from Kia and Hyundai. For Kia vehicles, many of them built from 2011 to 2021 have this problem, and for Hyundais, those built from 2015 to 2021 also have this problem. I'm not here to teach you how to do it, I'm not your Thieves Guild sensei, but I will tell you, it is shockingly fucking easy. It's mind-blowing how stupid and simple it is. These cars are more insecure than me going through puberty. They basically steal themselves, honestly. It takes seconds, like actual seconds. Not even like mini seconds, like maybe 2 or 3 tops. It's fucking baffling, honestly. So, since this challenge went viral, there's been this massive increase in thefts with Kia and Hyundais, and this week it led to 4 teenagers dying. In a few of the Kia Challenge videos that are still available online, the people in them are driving recklessly, and in a couple of them even crash. However, this one happened to be a fatal single-car accident, killing 4 of the passengers here, and now the driver's facing a felony charge. Pretty sad story all around, and it all stems from a little TikTok trend. Just when you thought we'd seen the dumbest trends from that platform with like devious licks and shit like that, they've gone even harder now. But I think it's very important we discuss what a massive fuck up this is from Kia and Hyundai. How in the world, 2,000 years after the death of Jesus, with all the technology we have now, how can you have this massive vulnerability? It's obviously a massive problem here, so much so that they have now been served a class action lawsuit as of late September, because these vehicles that they manufactured during the time periods I listed don't have immobilizers on them, which as I understand is standard among pretty much all the other automobiles out there. I'm not much of a car guy. I don't know too much about that shit. I know more about the anatomy of a fucking alien than I would a car's engine and what goes into vehicles. But according to the lawsuit, the engine immobilizers are crucial, and they've come at Kia and Hyundai for not having them, stating that they valued profits over safety and security of their customers. And it also outlines just how big of a problem it's become. It is just an absolute epidemic with all of these car thefts with the Kia and Hyundai models here, and it all ties back to the lack of engine immobilizer, as I understand it. And it seems like this was a massive blunder here, because all the extra doubloons they were able to squeeze out of their profit margins is all about to whittle away here and probably end in some net loss with this class action lawsuit. It's a huge deal, obviously. And just a really sad trend all around, since it ended in the death of 4 teenagers who probably wouldn't have stolen this car if they weren't fed the information on how to do it, as well as also fed the idea that by doing it they'd gain TikTok clout. I believe at the time, and according to this article, the Kia Challenge category on TikTok, like the trend where all these things lived, had 5.9 billion views across all of the videos there. Now, of course, not all of them were views on videos of people actually stealing the cars. A lot of them were people talking about how dangerous the challenge is. But there was, of course, quite a few videos actually showcasing just the blatant theft of Kias and Hyundais in there, in the Kia Boys area. And just fucking awful stuff. TikTok cracked down on it and banned those accounts and shut all of the Kia Boys, Kia Challenge stuff down, but even still, you can still find quite a few of them, and it clearly does still exist in some capacity because this only happened this week. So it's still a rather popular idea, even if not like a direct trend on TikTok anymore. So just wanted to talk about this a little bit since this was just a situation where I was just absolutely wrong when Twitch chat was bringing me some new information here that I just refused to believe. It was so outlandish I didn't believe it. I didn't think anyone would ever actually start a trend of just crime, and I was proven wrong. And it's very sad. Not sad about me being proven wrong, just the actual subject matter here being sad. That's about it. See ya. You're about to see a robbery that's extremely nostalgic. It's a brand new robbery, but it elicits a feeling of nostalgia. It reminds me of the first Fast and Furious movie where they were stealing DVD players. These gentlemen are attempting to steal this TV off the wall, which I find super odd because no one really steals TVs anymore. They're very hard to move, they're less expensive than something smaller like an iPhone, and just really don't see a lot of TVs being stolen anymore. But these guys must be like thieves that time traveled from the early 90s to late 2019, and they're just confused by the scary future. But, you know, they see TVs like, shit, they still got TVs. Yeah, boys are back in action, let's steal this bitch. That's probably still worth it. Unfortunately, the security camera doesn't capture any sound, but if it did, you'd probably be hearing the Benny Hill theme being played over the loudspeaker, and this guy right here that's fucking DJ turntabling the TV on the wall shouting for help. Luckily, there was a vigilante in the area hearing the cries, but I guess those windows must be clean as shit because he thought that one was open instead of the broken one next to him, so he hits that like a dog trying to come inside but hitting a glass door. The cavalry arrives and they get their third friend opening the trunk, which is just very overconfident, thinking they're actually going to get this TV off here. And this must be just the slipperiest goddamn glass of all time. It's like they're on an ice skating rink. Now finally, after windmilling the TV for 30 seconds, they finally rip that bitch off the wall and luckily break it immediately so they get nothing out of this, and they keep slipping and sliding all over the place. It's like there's fucking butter on the bottom of their shoes. Then finally the mastermind, the supervillain, the real muscle behind the operation hops in the driver's seat and peels out. They may have left empty-handed, but at least their pride is intact. Their spirits were probably still high, and I imagine they drove away looking for the nearest Radio Shack or Blockbuster to rob next. Let's go through this one more time and watch the slippery bandits in action again. I've mounted a few TVs in my day, but I've never seen one with this kind of range of motion. I've never seen one that you could spin like a fucking washing machine. His tactics also don't make sense because he's going with it, he's trying to like unscrew it and then kind of like kick flip off it. I don't even know if these two guys know each other. This guy comes from way downtown, like out of fucking nowhere for a surprise RKO. I can't imagine that they plan to be this far away from each other. This might just be like a really nice coincidence, like shit, I was trying to rob this place too, fuck it, this guy's already here, let's try and help. Damn, we're not strong enough to help, and it's super slippery. No doubt his hands are sliced up from landing on that glass, but he's a trooper, so he doesn't let the pain bother him. He goes and rips that TV off. At this point it wasn't about stealing it was about teaching the TV a lesson. You don't fuck with the slippery bandits. That fucking TV thought it could make these guys look stupid? Unbelievable. No one makes these guys look stupid. I don't know if they got caught or anything, but I imagine if they did, they'd probably just immediately go to jail and hope that the video never surfaces. Like they're in the fucking courtroom. I didn't do it. Well, we have video, you did it. Fuck it, don't show it. I did it. Just please don't show it. It's gotta be real fucking embarrassing. But yeah, that's it. So yeah. When you think of streaming, you probably think of someone playing video games or sitting in a hot tub, maybe even spreading their asshole if you're lucky enough. But today we're going to focus on a category called IRL streaming, which is where the streamer goes out in public and goes on little adventures like side quests in an MMO where they go and eat and hang out with friends and shit like that. Nothing wrong with IRL streaming, I want to get that clear. But there was a category of streamers, and still is, that their entire streams in the IRL category were just about harassing people in public with text-to-speech donations blasting to make everyone uncomfortable and just be this giant public shit stain. Just awful garbage, really. And today we're going to be talking about a guy who's more than a shit stain. He's the entire used and abused toilet at a fucking Comic-Con convention. His name is Sanchez, and he was an IRL streamer who would just go around insulting people to their face in New York and following them around, constantly just insulting them. He had donations on with text-to-speech, which would just blast slurs at people, so people would donate just to say slurs and shit like that. He's a young man who was so desperate for internet attention, he wanted to suckle on the juicy titties of internet clout. He looks like he still has his baby teeth in his mouth, and he wanted to chomp those teeth right onto that tender nipple of internet fame and take a big swig of her milk. And he would do anything for it. So his whole persona was about being an incel asshole. That's not me calling him an incel. That was his brand of content where he'd go in public, mainly insulting women. He targeted women mostly in his streams. A real brave guy. I'll show you a quick clip of that. I feel like I need to include this in every video now I make about shit like this since common sense is dead. Don't go harass this guy or the people that watched this guy. You're not some hero by harassing them. You're just being an asshole as well. So don't do it.
How you like that, Stacy? You like that? You like that? How about you put a gun in your mouth and pull the trigger? You like that, Stacy? You stupid bitch. You stupid fucking bitch. You deny me? You like that? You like that? Give me something to lose. I have nothing to lose. I have nothing to lose. I have nothing to lose.
Hey cute boy, do you like old fat lesbian pussy?
Go get SSRIs. Go take your psych meds. Go take your birth control. Come on, take your birth control. Take it. Enlighten me on why I should even look forward to impregnating a woman. What do I have to look forward to? What do I have to look forward to? No, I want to speak honestly now. What do I have to look forward to? Seriously. What do I have to look forward to? Birth control.
I know what you have to look forward to, Sanchez. 5 years in jail, potentially. I'm not going to show the whole Department of Justice right up here, but he was recently arrested, facing potentially 5 years in prison for bomb threats. He's done multiple bomb threats on stream. He's only been busted for one, but he's done a couple on stream, so we got ourselves a real fucking daredevil here. This guy's a real epic prankster. He's straight up Gangnam styling on the law out here. The majority of his streams were what you just saw, where it's him having this like hate boner for women that he jerks off his little micro dick about in public and just yells at them and blames them for all of the problems that he has. Watching one of his streams is sadder than watching an ASPCA commercial. When I first saw his channel a couple months ago, I thought it was like a 13-year-old boy going through a phase, and it turns out I was right. It is a 13-year-old boy going through a phase, but he's trapped in the body of a 19-year-old douchebag. He's basically if Xbox Live was a person. I'm gonna go ahead and show you the first bomb threat that he made, and then I'll show you the one after that.
Let's enhance their meal. Enhance the meal. No, behind.
You would still be doing this.
Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Bomb detonation in two minutes. I take you with me and I kill all you. I kill all you right now, and I kill all you for Allah. Fuck that shit. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna fucking do it for Allah. I'm going to do it for Allah. Allahu Akbar. Come on, I do it. Bomb now. Bomb now. Yo, all of them scattered. Yo, yo. Holy shit! Holy shit!
Good one. You fucking got him. Those idiots didn't have any idea that you're not an actual terrorist. You're just a fucking loser. Even when you're not making bomb threats though, I still imagine this is how most people act when they see you. They just fucking leave in disgust. You're like if a septic tank found a video camera and hit go live. It's like the world is Whoville and you're the Grinch. Everyone's just trying to forget about you and avoid you as much as possible. Now, of course, the standard defense is this is all out of context. He's actually a really good person. You just depict the worst moments. I mean, context doesn't help a fucking fake bomb threat or just harassing women in public or whatever, but I mean, that's fine. I have actually watched 3 full streams, start to finish. Not to flex too hard, but I only puked a couple of times. This shit was painful. Watching snuff films would have been less uncomfortable than watching his dog shit. Watching someone light my car on fire in front of me would have been less painful than watching his streams. This shit was brutal, but I did it just to make sure that there was no doubt that this guy was truly an abhorrent douchebag. He hasn't even accidentally been entertaining for even a split second. You'd think over the course of like 3 streams, 8-9 hours streams in total, that he'd like fart at some point, which would at least be somewhat entertaining to someone, but not even that. Dude's butt cheeks are sealed shut, fucking sewn together. He can't even fucking fart to make something, make a little smile appear. The streams are entirely based around him spending extremely long following people, hurling insults at them, with them not even reciprocating, they just ignore him. It's like this guy's invisible. It's like your worst nightmare, where you are in a dream, and you're trying your best to like shout to someone, but they just keep walking, they can't hear you. This is that guy's whole existence. This man is truly invisible to everyone except his chat, and except when he's making bomb threats. And when he's not harassing people and stalking them to hurl the worst insults of all time, it's just his chat making slurs in their donations and him laughing at that, or getting the public's reaction to hearing slurs. It's fucking baffling. It is so sad. Let me show you another one of his bomb threats, though.
Bomb Squad, thanks so much for the dono.
Bomb Squad tipped $2.
Bomb Squad.
Attention everyone, this is not a joke. I have a bomb. I have a bomb. It is set on a digital timer and is set to go off in 10 seconds. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1,
Allahu Akbar.
Boom. Just kidding, faggots.
Oh my god, that actually worked. Holy shit. Let's go, baby. We just did that shit. That was fucking dope. Thank you so much for that donation, bro. Oh, that was hype. Oh, that just made my fucking day, didn't it? That made my fucking day. Holy shit. Thank you so much for that donation. By the way, whoever's watching and you report that, that was not me, that was a donator. And yes, thanks so much.
Pretty random XD, Rar Sanchez. A Swiffer holds up spork, does the narwhal bacon at midnight. You're such a random dude. Oh my god, you're such an edgy random comedian. He has a Swiffer in public. Wild. And he also just did a bomb threat prank. Hey! The highlights of this man's life are the most embarrassing moments of everyone else's. Like the things that keep you awake at night in cold sweats, like I can't believe I fucking did that, are the absolute cherished memories of this guy. And it's so sad. It is so sad. I've said it for a while, I think the internet creates losers, and this is a great example. He gets cheered on by his chat. His chat enables this and makes him believe that it's good entertainment, or like somehow he's actually doing something good for the world. The chat is laughing at him, not with him. He can't even get like even an ounce of legitimate support from anyone. He's literally a circus act for people, but they make him feel like he's the Joker. Oh, Incel gets rejected by a girl and no one bats an eye. But Incel sticks a Swiffer in the face of a random girl and makes a bomb threat and everyone loses their minds. It's so pathetic. I'd almost feel bad for him if he wasn't such an insufferable hemorrhoid of a person. Because the chat is the Frankenstein, and he is the monster that they've created. They're constantly encouraging him to continue doing this shit. In the few moments where he's not and he's just like hanging out to himself, people just leave and insult him. When he's not harassing people, people just fucking leave. So he just keeps doing it to keep the viewership there as people donate to insult him and insult the people around him. The chat is like constantly shoveling coal into this never-ending train wreck of a person. It's like Snowpiercer if the train was just this constant degenerate express. It's fucking wild in the worst way. I think it is great that he's going to jail. Well, hopefully going to jail. Because I think that'll be the best thing for him. Just like a full reset. This wouldn't be the first time a streamer goes to jail for bomb threats. There's of course the extremely famous one from another streamer where this guy was actually facing up to 10 years in prison for this.
C4 has been successfully activated. Bomb detonation countdown successfully started.
He did go to jail for this, but he didn't finish out the entirety of the 10-year sentence, although I don't even know if that was the final verdict with 10 years. He was released, I think like a year ago, or maybe even less than a year ago, I'm not sure, but he went to jail for it. So this wouldn't be the first time someone goes to jail for this shit if Sanchez does face prison time. But anyway, I wanted to share this story with you because it's a pretty wild one. Luckily, these kinds of streams aren't that popular anymore. IRL streams I've always enjoyed. I've always been a fan, but I've always hated like the public nuisance element of it where they feel like they're invincible because they have a fucking video camera going, so then they just start becoming huge fucking douchebags to everyone in public. So yeah, I just wanted to quickly share this story. That's about it. So yeah, in case any of you have been feeling a lack of self-esteem or a bit hard on yourself, I wanted to show you a video that will prove that no matter what's going on with you, you will never be as pathetic as the man I'm about to show you. This is a video that I've thought about for quite a while now. This happened in 2013, and I'll think about it and just remember, you know what? At least I'm not that guy, and hopefully it'll do the same for you. So this is an attempted robbery here by the Hamburglar. He's doing us the favor of showing us his face before putting his mother's pantyhose over it. Then he comes back into frame looking like fucking Goofy here, about to commit a felony. He's got a brick armed and ready, launches that bad boy, it doesn't work, he panics, trips, falls a couple times, and then scurries off. One of the finest crimes our nation has ever seen. A smooth operation. This is up there with the Zodiac Killer when it comes to mysteries. In fact, this man was never caught. Probably because the detectives were too busy laughing at him, but they never did catch this man. He could be out there still terrorizing meat stores to this day. Throwing bricks, bowling balls, perhaps even dropping full grand pianos through them, Looney Tunes style. This menace is still out there. And this is all we have to identify him, and the only proof of his existence. It's like a cryptid. We basically caught the not-so-slender man here. This guy is fucking incredible at everything involving disasters. It is perhaps the worst attempted robbery ever recorded. He's actually kind of a pioneer when it comes to attempted robberies, because this isn't the standard meta of robbing a place for money. Because this isn't a place where there would be any money in the shop or in the cash register. It's a fucking meat store. They only sell meat. So the only motivating factor here, the goal, wouldn't be money, it'd be more meat. Which is truly innovative, I would say, in the crime game. Just look at the way he's dressed. He looks like he's trying to audition to be a backup dancer in an old Bee Gees music video. I'd like to just play this one more time, start to finish here, because it's a masterpiece disaster. He must have just seen a brick as he was going for a midnight stroll, and then hatched this genius scheme here to get some more meat, but it all went downhill when he was defeated by the vibranium glass door. Real shame. Last night, some deviously clever thieves hatched a genius idea on how to steal an ATM machine using a forklift. This isn't the first of its kind, and it certainly won't be the last. In fact, it's a pretty popular genre of content online, with surveillance cameras capturing goofy ATM heists, and it's always a whole team of clowns that show up to the party, and somehow none of them had any neuron activation to plan beforehand, because it almost never goes right. It seems like ATM robberies are done exclusively by people that can't tie their own shoes, but then also somehow have access to the wackiest vehicles ever. Like, last night it was a forklift. There was one a couple years ago where they came up with a fucking excavator, actual heavy machinery, an excavator they used to carve the ATM out of a building, pick it up in its bucket and dump into a goddamn van. Like, I don't even know where they're getting it from. It's like they're playing GTA Online in real life. But yeah, it's always just so interesting. So I want to show you a few of them. We'll start with last night's forklift heist. This happened in Sacramento, and it's like something out of a SpongeBob episode with every villain is Lemons here. So there's only a couple of chess pieces on the board here. We have the white pickup truck on the top and the forklift on the left. Now pay close attention to that forklift operator, because he may be out here committing a crime, but he said, "God damn it, I'm not violating OSHA regulations." Robbery is one thing, but violating OSHA regulations, that's an unforgivable sin, and I will have no part in that, thank you very much. So that gentleman's in the proper forklift attire, complete with even the hard hat, and then he just fires this bitch into turbo drive. He engaged the NOS boosters and just gave a big wallop to the ATM, knocking it off of the pedestal there. And then he begins the second part of this incredible scheme that they've hatched. The truck driver throws that ass in reverse to get in the proper position to receive the ATM, and then the forklift driver comes over here and just skewers it. He starts pumping it a little bit, hoping to get the tongs on the actual ATM unit itself and not just the outer casing. It's like an egg, and then the orange stuff is the shell, and what he wants to get to is the yolk in the middle. So, with the delicate hands of a surgeon, he gets underneath it and cradles it like a baby. So, mission accomplished so far. He's got the ATM on the forklift, and now it's just the last little piece of the puzzle, and he blows it. Yeah, he blows it. A bit of a fumble there, miscalculation, could have happened to anyone. And as you can see, it's happening to the best of us. Now all of a sudden there's a spectator in the stands. Another car swoops in here, a variable they couldn't have accounted for, and this had to be the most shocking moment of that driver's life. What started as just a normal trip to the ATM ended up with him getting caught in an idiot's sandwich, so he says, you know what, I'm not hungry, I'm going home. And just when you thought this game was over, sports fans, wait until the fourth quarter, because look at this comeback. A perfect exchange from forklift to truck bed. Dominic Toretto puts pedal to the metal and drives off. No need to fasten or secure the ATM in the truck bed. It's not going to fall off. They're operating off hopes and dreams. And when has that ever not been enough? According to news reports, the ATM fell off a few miles up the road and ended up causing a car accident. So I can only pray that whoever was involved in that accident is okay. Just, who could have seen that coming?
Into the bed of the truck, only for it to fall off in the middle of the street, causing a traffic accident.
No one could have accurately predicted that that would happen. Just truly a freak accident somehow, that ATM falling off the truck. But I don't want to just talk about just this one ATM heist, because there's so many that are just as wacky and goofy, so I want to show you a few of them. But before doing that, I want to show you something that is far more valuable than an ATM machine. It's Godslap. Issue 4 of Godslap, to be precise. It just dropped today. Issue 4 of Godslap is here. This is the standard cover, as well as always, 2 beautiful variant covers. And the story is really, really getting good, so you don't want to miss it. Godslap issue 4 is available right now at badegg.co. And if you don't want a physical copy of Godslap, there is a digital download as well. So definitely make sure to check that out. It's our comic series we've been working on for a few years now, and we're really starting to get in our stride. We're entering the golden age of Godslap, baby. I know I've already shown this clip before, but since I mentioned it at the beginning of the video, I figured there's no time like the present to once again put it in the top of everyone's mind. This is the infamous excavator ATM heist here. So this is a stolen excavator, and they really gave it a workout. You can see him going fishing here for the ATM, just really digging in there like someone trying to get the last bit of toothpaste out of the tube. Finally gets the ATM in the bucket, and here's his good friends here, the foot ninjas from the Ninja Turtles. That man up front is striking a power stance like actual NPC energy, and then he gets it and just puts it in the open sunroof of the van. And let me tell ya, perfect calculations because it fits like a glove. Look at that. Putting the square into the square hole just the way we used to do it when we were kids. Jackpot. Now, it may not have, fit as perfectly as they maybe drew it up in the playbook, which is why they give it a couple of little slaps to try and get it down a bit deeper, but at the end of the day, it was good enough, so they were satisfied with the job well done and drove away.
The footage is shocking. A pickup truck smashes into a grocery store, but this driver isn't done. Goes on the other side and zooms straight through.
When I first saw that clip, I actually laughed out loud very hard, which isn't normal for me from a YouTube video. I just couldn't even wrap my head around the thought process of the driver. Like, he accomplished the goal on the first try here. He got a strike down the bowling alley. He backed his truck up into the store through the doors the first time. So why did he pull out and do it again just for a bigger fucking explosion? Like, on the other side, it accomplished nothing. He had already done what he set out to do with getting his truck inside. I don't exactly know why he did that. That was absolutely a fuck you. This became personal. It went from an ATM robbery to a statement real quick.
Why is this happening? Because crooks are after the ATM machine. They load it in the truck and they're off.
Now, this one doesn't use any fancy schmancy machinery here like a forklift or an excavator. Just good old-fashioned spit and elbow grease. Just 2 dudes being men, picking up an ATM and putting it in their truck and driving away. No need for elaborate planning, no need for even a single thought to enter your brain for this one. Just, I want ATM. I drive truck through and pick up ATM. Okay. Actual caveman brain idea.
With the use of brute force, brazen ATM thefts are happening all over the country.
This whole video from Inside Edition is mainly a montage of wacky ATM thefts, and you can see that they brought out a timeless classic strategy here with, once again, the forklift, but this one's got a little pizzazz to it. They're hitting us with a razzle-dazzle. So they're doing like a little balancing act where they're just like they got a fingernail on the ATM machine with the forklift tongue, and he's just like kind of balancing it on the way out and like holding it back and driving away slowly. It's like something out of the circus. It's actually very impressive. There's real talent behind the wheel of that forklift. This isn't something that anybody could just get up and do. There is a real passion for their work here. And dare I say it, they even seem a bit considerate. They said, you know what, I want the money from the ATM, but I don't want to cause too much damage in the process. So I'm just gonna real tenderly pick it up, balance it, and just get away with it. I don't want to hit any walls or anything. He didn't come in here and just start fucking slapping it around like the last guy in the forklift video we saw from last night. This guy came in here with a real delicate touch. Or at least that's what the video showed. Maybe right after this brief clip, the guy just goes ballistic and starts just like speeding the forklift into everything he can find, maybe.
In Chicago, a crook wraps a rope around the ATM and gives the signal. A truck then hauls the machine through the front door, even injuring his partner.
That one's probably my favorite. Just a beautiful blunder, really. Wraps the cord around the forklift, and then he's like, all right, punch it. And then he just gets absolutely blasted by the ATM. He didn't stop to think for just 1 second how the world works with physics and shit, that by standing at the doorway where the rope was leading out, that the ATM would follow that trail. So he just stands right in between a bullet and a target here and takes a hit to the leg from the ATM. It just comes through like a cannonball and annihilates him. His knee got busted up in a big way. It reminds me of a tweet I read like a month ago where a guy took a bad step at a baseball game and he like blew out both of his knees. The tweet said, this man just blew his ACL, MCL, DVD, and NBC. And that's how I feel about this clip right here. That ATM absolutely fucked his knee, I think. Now, I don't think it broke his leg because it seems like he was able to like kind of limp away, but that's no doubt just all of the adrenaline that kicked in to, you know, not get caught here. But yeah, I think that clip is by far the best one so far from these ATM heists. So yeah, I just wanted to share a few of these with you since the forklift one just happened last night, and that's really about it. So yeah. I recently watched a video from a channel called Crime0, which put together this beautiful piece on one of the most interesting criminals I've ever heard of. It just seems like something more out of a cartoon than reality, like the real world Dirty Dan here. I'll quickly hit you with a 30-second Shark Tank pitch to get you interested and tell you why you should care. Basically, an army veteran uses his skills to target McDonald's locations for robbery, and his specialty was busting in through the rooftop. So he would bring tools, cut through the roof, and drop in like an angel on the employees. And he had the manners of an angel too. He'd let them get their coats. They all said that he was really nice, and asked them to just wait in like the ice locker, the freezer. And he'd rob them and leave. And he did this for quite some time before being apprehended. Spoilers, he gets caught. But he doesn't spend too long in jail because he hatched a galaxy brain scheme to break out, which he executed flawlessly, becoming the first prisoner at that facility to ever break out successfully. And he turns back to a life of crime, but no longer going to the Ronald McDonald Playhouse of Pain. Instead, he transitions to living in a Toys R Us and gradually stealing their toys. So what he does is he lives at a Toys R Us by living behind a bike rack. He carves out his own little like hidden man cave in the walls. I won't spoil how it all ends or anything like that, but I just wanted to get like the cliff notes out here because I just find it so wild. I'll put a link to the original video in the description, of course, so you can watch the entire thing, but I'll show you some clips from when we watched it. Alright, let's start with, let's see Roofman. This sounds kind of interesting. I do love criminals that hide in attics and shit.
Nigel and Luke here, and welcome to Crime Zone. Unbeknownst to...
Quick question, is there still a massive breakfast rush for McDonald's? I remember when I was a kid that was the shit, but I feel like McDonald's has just such steep competition these days for the breakfast slot. Do we have any other, like, big McDonald's breakfast enthusiasts here? Because near me, it's kind of just like, no one cares anymore. Overwhelmingly, yes. Wow. I just think the McDonald's breakfast has really fallen off. It's like Netflix stock, but for food.
Once he had the cash, the masked robber walked all of the employees into the cooler where they were locked inside.
It seems kind of nice.
They were asked if they wanted to grab their coats to stay warm while they waited for help to arrive. After
they have a police sketch and it's just a Hamburglar.
Fled. While the employees didn't know it at the time,
I saw a video of 2 women stealing everyone's food inside a restaurant. Don't remember where, though. Probably McDonald's. Actually, I take that back. Probably Waffle House. Waffle House is a restaurant you go to and you're just looking for fights. And maybe, like, a waffle or 2. I think it's a Prime Sun City. So this is basically the only fast food specialized robber is what I'm getting.
While little is known about why
Don.
Jeffrey Allen Manchester chose to turn to a life of crime, what we do know
the better question is why
that
turn to a
before he
life of
became
crime
the
for
notorious
fast
robber
food?
known as Roof Man, he lived what appeared to be a normal life, to put his military training to a different kind of use. In November of 1998...
Do you really need military training to rob a McDonald's? I feel like you could just go in and be like, I just want the money in the register, and like, make like a finger gun in your jacket and be like, yeah, just take it. Like, I don't think you really needed all like the special ops training just to become like a fucking Filet-O-Fish fondler. Felon. Damn, that would have been better instead of fucking fondler. It doesn't even make sense. But man, this guy, those McDonald's employees, they didn't know who they were fucking with when he busted through their ceiling. One second they're just serving up a quarter pounder, next second they got goddamn Jason Bourne coming through the top turnbuckle. That's
While
cute.
the bulk of Manchester's robberies were committed in California, he would eventually hit McDonald's locations in Nevada, Oregon, Minnesota, Massachusetts, Maryland, Virginia, and both of the Carolinas, making off with an estimated $100,000. Manchester would use tools to cut a hole in the roof of the location, dropping down anywhere from 10 to 15 feet.
So what? I still am super confused on why the roof. What tactical advantage does he get from busting in right here behind the counter as opposed to just rushing through here and jumping over the counter? Just like the element of surprise? No alarm? I guess, but there's still employees there either way, right? Because like they said, he was always really nice to the employees and telling them to get to the back and shit, so there's still people there. So at that point, the alarm's kind of worthless, wouldn't you think?
When they caught up to him a short time later, he was still carrying his rifle, as well as a nylon bag containing drills, pry tools, hammers, and all of the cash he had stolen from the 2 McDonald's locations. True to his reputation, Manchester didn't put up a fight when cornered by officers, instead telling them, quote, "You guys did a really good job today." With Manchester's arrest came a flurry of news articles announcing he was ultimately sentenced to 45 years in prison on charges ranging from robbery with a dangerous weapon to kidnapping. Little did anyone know that his story was far from over.
Really? He busted a hole out of the prison cell?
Following his conviction at the end of 2000, Jeffrey Manchester was sent on the afternoon of June 15th, 2004.
Now the roof
Jeffrey
man can be
Manchester
anywhere.
put his plan into action and escaped from the Brown Creek Correctional Institution, making him the first person to do so in the facility's 11-year history.
Hey, that's pretty
Once
good.
again,
well, 11 years
the
isn't
Roofman
super long.
was
That's still
free.
good.
It was here, at an unassuming retail plaza, that he would set up a living space that would baffle and amuse both the public and law enforcement
oh my god, he opened his own
for years to
McDonald's.
come.
A
For his
franchise
new
owner.
home, the Roof Man chose a Toys R Us store located in a complex called the Triangle Shopping Center, just off of Monroe Road. He raced remote control cars on the roof in the middle of the night, rode bikes around the store for exercise, and managed to get most of the nourishment that he needed by stealing and eating baby food.
Toys R
funny
Us had all kinds of snacks. He didn't need baby food. I remember back in the heyday at Toys R Us, you could get like fucking pounds of Doritos and shit. My man's over there just eating like meat sticks and apple mush when he could have been feasting on Doritos and Oreos. This man just said, fuck it, I want the Gerbers. Thanks for some Dreadnought in the prime elbow. This actually seems like something out of Codename Kids Next Door. Like one of the villains infiltrates a toy store that the kids are shopping at in order to torment them and scare them at night. Man's actually the boogeyman at the Jeffrey's Play Palace here. I have looked literally everywhere in the world for a single picture of this man's laboratory here. You know, Dexter's lab kind of shit. Because the way it's described in the video and the way it's described by the authorities, it sounds fucking incredible. He had baby monitor surveillance spy systems set up across the store to keep eyes on everyone, all the workers and all the customers and everything. He had so many toys and shit and a really elaborate setup with running water all in his like secret man cave in the Toys R Us walls. I want so badly to know what that actually looked like. I can't imagine a world where they didn't take pictures of it. They'd have to, right? Like, it's evidence. So surely those pictures exist somewhere, and I am begging any authorities that were involved in this case to just release the photo evidence. Let us see it. Let us just take a gander. I have to know what his little secret lair looked like here in this Toys R Us, because it must have been so fucking cool. Or maybe it's overhyped and it was actually just like a really small like coffin of a couple of toys that he'd stay at. Who knows? But it just sounds so impressive and I would love to know what it looks like, but unfortunately I can't find a single picture of it anywhere. I can't even find like a single like artistic interpretation of it from anyone from the scene. Nothing. But I know those pictures have to have existed. So I hope someday they surface.
And when the holiday season rolled around, no one donated more to the congregation's toy drive than he did. Of course, these toys were actually all stolen from the store where the roof man was hiding
who's
out.
gonna miss the toys though, huh?
It was during this time that he realized he could tunnel directly through the store's wall into the adjacent unit, which just so happened to be an abandoned Circuit City. This time,
maybe this guy's responsible for Toys R Us and Circuit City going under. After they found out that this man was living in their walls for, it's been almost a year, I think now. They just got so fucking paranoid that the business started sinking. God damn. What a cool setup, though. That is like the most early 2000s shit imaginable. Like, that is your early 2000s shopping starting kit. Toys R Us, Circuit City, and Radio Shack. The only thing he's missing is a Blockbuster. Then he tunnels underground and goes right to Blockbuster or some shit.
He also added more baby monitors to add to his makeshift surveillance system, and even installed a smoke detector and piped in water from the Toys R Us next door.
Wait, how would nobody ever hear that? He piped in his own water line? How would he be able to successfully do that? It's not the hardest thing in the world to do that, I guess, if you tee off of an already existing line, but still, I feel like you'd absolutely hear that, because you have to like drill into the walls and shit, and you have to tee off that pipe. That's kind of crazy. Yeah, I mean, I guess just doing it like in the dead of night without anyone being around, you'd probably never notice.
In order to continue to travel between the Toys R Us and the Circuit City as he pleased, Manchester left the tunnel between the two units intact.
I bet so many kids saw him behind the bike rack and just got scared and didn't say anything.
In with the walls on both sides. On December 26th, he decided it was time to pull off the big robbery that he had been planning. Unfortunately for the roof man, when he tried to pull off the crime, things did not go according to plan. Similar to the 2000 robbery in Belmont, when he held up the Toys R Us, employees were able to contact police sooner than he anticipated. Manchester responded by punching her, stealing her gun, and running away.
That's aggressive.
Amazingly,
he used to be so nice.
The roof man seemed cornered, he managed to escape through his trapdoors undetected. It's unclear whether or not he returned to the hideout within the Circuit City, identified him as the man who had been going by the name John Zorin, and were shocked to discover who he really was. In a bid to cover his tracks, Manchester burned down a dentist office where he had gotten his teeth fixed while on the run.
How does that...
worried that police would be able to find his dental records there.
Okay.
This had the opposite effect of what he intended.
Prison really changed
and only made investigators more suspicious. Manchester showed up, believing he would be able to see his girlfriend one last time before continuing his life on the run. He arrived with flowers, but was arrested by waiting officers before he could make it inside the apartment. Manchester is currently incarcerated at the Central Prison in Raleigh, where his projected release date is December 4th, 2036. Do you know of any other cases like this that you think we should check out?
What a cool story.
Tell us about them in the comments section below. Thank you for watching.
That prison is 5 minutes from my house. Bro, you might want to move just in case the roof man gets out. He'll start living in your walls. Sleep in fear, man. Sleep in fear. Oh, finally some real karate. Jesus. This is like when I play Tekken. Damn! Holy shit! Finally, 2 deadly warriors. A new challenger! Jesus! Same stance. I see they were all trained by the same master. Oh god! Who's next? A 9-year-old? Wow, this is a big mismatch. Don't use your legs, use your size advantage. Hey, don't listen to me, I'm not your master actually. I'm not your sensei. Do what he taught you. He seems to have trained you well. I like how they only let him go for like 20 seconds just to make sure nobody accidentally hurts each other so that way the master and the dojo aren't responsible for it. Does this not look like a high school gym? No, it's most certainly a high school gym. Where else are you going to train martial arts? I feel like I'm watching a David Attenborough segment. Like when the bees are swarming the wasp.
Good, good. Okay, when the police get it, we'll see. Yeah? We'll see, okay? Yeah. Okay, yeah.
I think the police are going to be on his side if you're stealing.
You shoplifter. You can't shoplift here.
Yeah, why not?
Why not?
It's a law, I guess.
Shoplift here. Go ahead and watch what happens.
Put me in the parking lot.
I can't tell if like she's an age illusionist. I can't tell if she's like early 20s or late 40s.
Stop it.
Even her mom and dad are like, well, she kind of deserves it.
No. No, no.
Let me go.
Oh god, the demon's coming out?
I'm working. She's working.
He's got her with the holy takedown.
Stop it.
Don't fight him either.
Stop it.
Thanks, referee.
You're being filmed, man.
Wait.
Watch your mouth. Be a gentleman.
Okay.
Who's she? Is coach? Remember your training. This is not the way of the Force. God bless the cameraman, finally. This dude deserves Employee of the Month here. Graphic warning, that's... Suspect gets naked as meat falls from his pants. That certainly does sound like Florida. If I was confident in their blurring ability, I would watch that, but I'm not.
Sophisticated method. All right,
they just crash the car through the front and just start grabbing shit.
Say Melinda Ford, aka Puffy, is about to hit the dressing room of a Bell's department store in Florida.
That's fucking awesome. She's like a kingpin.
In the store. Last year, we were given access to an unfolding investigation to a crime
stealing another $40 in shirts.
And that's why Sergeant Jim Ostachek from the County Sheriff's Office has spent nearly a
No shoplifter has ever survived an encounter with the Sarge.
Investigators say if they can flip Puffy, they're betting they can round up the returners.
This is like Sly Cooper 2.
The whole booster ring. And radioing their movements to officers outside waiting in the
But how dangerous is Puffy?
Subjects are now exiting the store.
She learns that Pee-wee's double-crossed her, so she takes her out to like a crocodile-infested swamp with an assault rifle.
Vehicles moving.
Their own share of substations.
We've got you now, Puffy.
Pull over Puffy and Pee-wee right into the station's parking lot.
Puffy comes out with dual katanas.
Puffy is escorted. Police say Puffy finally seems to crack.
Oh, they broke Puffy?
And they've managed
She's
to get
snitching?
everybody in her virtual Rolodex.
Oh shit.
She's gonna go to them.
Police.
He would be like the only
now she's signed as like the lieutenant of the police force.
Helping them.
I never thought that what I did was this serious.
Stealing?
It's very serious.
Well,
it actually is an organized crime.
Puffy, who will receive a 2-year prison term plus 10 years of probation.
It is stealing. It's pretty.
Helping to
pretty well known to not be good.
Suspected returners claim she paid to return stolen merchandise.
Damn, that car is out. Her husband just left. Fuck you, Carol.
Is also one of them.
Damn, this is like the end of an Ocean's 11.
24 months of probation.
God damn. Don't tell me it's filmed like this. Much better. Put a finger in his asshole, it'll calm him down. It's like a human cheat code.
You're not getting away from us, dude.
That's what you think. Right now, he's doing a huge brain scheme where he's sweating and getting it all over his body, making him slippery, and he'll slip right out.
We don't want to hurt you.
I feel like I'm watching the MMA right now with some little ground and pound action, but much slower.
You're going to jail, man.
Please help me.
No, you're going to jail.
He's getting arrested for having a man bun. Yeah, he didn't steal anything, they just don't like the man bun. And it's not a man bun, this is called the top knot, by the way. Hats off to these three dudes for not getting bored of just, like, holding this guy. Little dance with him.
Don't come back to this target, you heard?
He just gets hit by a car. Why is it called held at gunpoint? Oh, it's not over yet. What the fuck? This is 12 minutes? What the fuck? What is it? Does he come back to steal more shit? But this time wearing a mask?
Why'd you let him go?
Oh, he lives across the street.
Over 2 minutes.
Well, the cops are a little late. Oh, he went to steal somewhere else? Bro, this cameraman's getting so much action in one night. Send the cameraman in to negotiate.
Guys, so it's an assault.
Why is he hiding behind a gas pump? You never know what the shoplifting guy is capable of. He might start tossing Molotov cocktails out of the chimney or something. He's unpredictable. Is there even anyone in there? The shop owner looks very calm. And he's just jogging around, hanging out. What is happening? I thought he had taken hostages. He dressed up as the storekeeper. Yeah, like hitman disguise. He knocked out the storekeeper and put on his disguise. Well, where the fuck is he? Is there even anyone in there at this point? They got the wrong address. They meant to go to the Target.
Everybody outside 600 to go for them.
Oh, this is fun. Everyone here is having a good time. He flushed himself down the toilet. He's already getting trained by Master Splinter in the sewers now, yeah. He's gonna come out an even stronger shoplifter. There he is! I see him! That's the guy! Run back to the Target. You're safe there. Jesus, they got a helicopter out here for a shoplifter? Shit must be boring as fucking Sherman Oaks. Finally, some action. I don't care if you only stole 5 packs of Yu-Gi-Oh cards. Call everyone, get them all out there. I don't know if it's movies or Grand Theft Auto 5 that's rotted my brain, but when I think of bank robberies, I always picture some absolutely massive event that's thoroughly planned and it's a huge deal. Like when I hear, oh, a bank got robbed, I'm expecting the follow-up sentence to be, and then Spider-Man stopped the robbers. I've just always imagined bank robberies like it's straight out of a cartoon, you know, high-tech security, damn near impossible to pull off successfully. You know, you see like an Ocean's 11 movie, you're like, wow, no one's ever gonna be able to actually rob a bank like this, huh? They've just always made it sound so fucking wild, saying things like, alright, we're gonna need a 20-person team in order to pull this one off successfully, boys. The target is a 15-inch thick steel titanium concrete vault door that's protected by a retina scanner and biological deposit box for fingernail clippings, and it'll only accept it from the head honcho of the bank. You also have to sing the fast part to Eminem's Rap God, and if you fuck up a single lyric, the alarm sounds and the FBI is swarming within 30 seconds. It's also protected by a moat with 45 crocodiles inside and 24/7 security, and they're all ex-Navy SEALs. We're gonna have to be in and out within 5 seconds. The job is simple. You know, like in my tiny reptile brain hears all this and I'm like, wow. Well, no one's ever going to be able to actually rob a bank, huh? For some reason, I've just been under the assumption that banks in the real world have similar security protocol. Obviously, not with like all the sci-fi security protocols like infrared laser beams everywhere that you have to dodge. I've just been under the assumption that they're highly protected and robbing them is still extremely difficult. But in reality, that's just not the case. Bank robberies happen all the time and they are nothing like they are in the movies. I want to show you a recent bank robbery that happened in Orlando. This is about a week old. You have to see this to believe it. Yeah, that's right. Your eyes aren't playing tricks on you. The alleged bank robber is Mr. Incredible himself. This dude threw on the Incredibles t-shirt, popped on the shades, and said, It's showtime. And this was a successful robbery, by the way. I'll explain his method in just a moment, but here's the security camera footage showcasing the culprit. And he got away with it for now. He wasn't caught. He's still at large. So if you do recognize that man, make sure to call that Crime Stoppers hotline. Now you're probably scratching your head wondering to yourself, where was the robbery? Charles, you forgot to show the climax. You didn't show where he actually robbed them. But you're wrong. You just witnessed the robbery. That was the entire operation. The extent of his plan was to go into the bank and ask for the money. So he demanded money from the teller and they gave it to him and he walked out. That's how that bank robbery went. He didn't flash any weapons. I haven't read any reports about him making threatening remarks or anything like that. They just explained that he demanded money from the teller, which he received, and then fled the scene. Now, the use of the word demanding in the reports leaves a lot of wiggle room for what could have been said or done from the guy to get the money. You know, maybe he went in there and was threatening the employees or seemed to just be like this menace. Maybe he treated it like a Call of Duty Xbox Live lobby and got real loud, vocal, screaming this and that. And I have always said it's never worth risking your life for the business you work at, you know? If someone comes in there and they're saying, you know, empty the register, you're gonna get it, bub, it's best just to comply. What's the point in risking life and limb for the business you work at? It's simply not worth it. Plus, insurance covers all of it for the business anyway. So it's just, you really shouldn't be, like, willing to die for your job, I would say. So I have no ill will towards the teller here who did give this guy the money. I just find it super interesting that this is the technique that was used for a successful bank robbery. Just going up and asking for the money. It doesn't seem like he did anything beyond that. His plan was as simple as it gets. Can I have some more of that cash? In fact, I'm not asking. Give me more of that cash. And they did. So I decided to look into it a bit. And it turns out all bank tellers are instructed to always follow the thief's instructions no matter the case, whether a weapon is produced or not. If there is a thief there demanding money, it is the bank teller's responsibility to follow it. They're instructed to follow along no matter what because their safety is of paramount importance. So that caught me by surprise because I wasn't sure. I knew bank tellers always had to go along with like someone who shows a weapon or something. Like they're not going to try and, you know, make a holdout and challenge them to a fist fight in order to disarm them or anything. I just thought like they had to produce like a weapon or some kind of threat or like reasonable showcase that they're going to cause a problem. I didn't realize that if they even just hinted at wanting to rob them, that they had to follow along. So that was a little surprising to me, but it makes complete sense, and I completely agree with that ruling as well. However, I still think this guy's planning is lackluster, to say the least. He didn't even make an attempt to conceal his face. The closest thing he has to a disguise is just some sunglasses he picked up at the gas station, probably on the way to the bank. Now, I don't want to undersell the importance of his wardrobe pick for the day. I think the Incredibles shirt really sealed the deal. There's a good chance this crashes and burns if he's wearing just like a normal Abercrombie & Fitch shirt or something, but he threw on the Incredibles shirt. That right there adds like a +10 to intimidation. They didn't know who they were fucking with, and they weren't taking any chances. So he got away with it for now. He's managed to elude authorities, as I understand it. So overall, just like a really goofy, wild story that I happened to stumble across today and just wanted to share with all of you. This is not at all how I imagined bank robberies going in the real world. I very rarely have ever read about any in the real world, aside from like the big ones where there's getaway cars, like massive police chases, shootouts. You know, I haven't heard of any like this, so I just found it to be pretty interesting. That's about it. So yeah. Spooky vid time? We can see what Mr. Nightmare's up to, sure. 5 most disturbing videos taken in an attic.
Of course, it'll usually be dismissed as house settling noises, because who would ever imagine that someone or something would actually be up in your attic, or God forbid on your roof, right?
Ooh, hold on, before this gets going, I think I already know one he's going to show. He's going to show that one we watched a while ago from Inside Edition, where the neighbor made a secret passage into their attic in order to watch them sleep. And the guy put in like a GoPro camera to watch him, and it's just like this weird bald guy who looks like Schmeagol from Lord of the Rings, just like crawling through and looking down at them. You guys remember him? Man looked like he was perpetually covered in a thick film of grease. And then he got arrested, and I think his the punishment was he's not allowed to do that again. Like, I don't think he went to jail or anything, he's not allowed to go back to their house. It was basically, hey, can you not go into their attic? He got caught because the father noticed one night that there was a light coming from his attic, and it was the guy with a flashlight looking down or something. It was crazy. Shit was wild. Thanks to Tier 1 Crustacean.
While these videos may make you want to install cameras, Jerome and Ashley
this is the one. Immediately into it.
With their 10-month-old
yes.
baby, were living comfortably.
This is the one I was talking about.
Above their heads in their own home. The row house next door that was being renovated was owned by 73-year-old Robert Havrilla, who's described
there he literally looks like a guy that would be crawling in attics. Like, this is the attic boogeyman. It's like he was born in there and never left. So he keeps trying to find his way back. Yeah, fuck yeah. Immediately into this one.
Very reclusive and known to keep to himself. Jerome was in bed one night when he heard noises above him in the attic. The kinds of noises that weren't just house noises.
Yep,
he knew somebody was up there. Then he noticed a light shining through a pipe, as if it were searching for a place to look through. So Jerome installed a surveillance camera in his attic, and a day later, caught on tape was many people's worst night. His neighbor Robert in his attic, carrying a power drill, looking into the bedroom. His neighbor had made a removable wall to gain access to their attic. It wasn't just the attic, though. Jerome also found perfectly round holes in the common wall between the two row houses. The shapes indicate that Robert the neighbor was drilling holes through the wall. Cops were called, and Robert was charged with stalking and trespassing, which he pled not guilty to. Robert's attorney made a statement that his client had no bad intentions. He claims he was in the attic for maintenance reasons connected to his renovations, not to peep on anyone or do anything malicious.
Yeah, he looks like he's renovating up there. No. You see, Your Honor, my client was actually up there looking for lost Pokemon cards. With the recent boom in prices, he realized his grandchildren must have had some good ones that he stored in the attic at one point. There was nothing weird about it. And the fact that he had a flashlight while looking through the pipe into the neighbor's house is truly just a coincidence and a misunderstanding.
Anybody with half a brain would know this is BS. The many holes drilled in the common wall and through the ceiling in the attic were without a doubt meant to spy on his neighbors. Strangely enough, it appears Robert was aware of the camera that Jerome had placed, as he looks right at him.
It's like an alien.
So why he continued to do
what
he
a baby
did
alien
is unknown. When the window doesn't provide a good view of what it could be, he decides to go outside for a better view, and this is what he sees.
Let's see. Oh, it's gonna be Slender Man. I feel it.
Fuck is that?
Oh, well, this shit is fake. Damn. Wait, what is that? Something from a Studio Ghibli movie? What am I looking at?
Hey.
It's half ahead of what looks to be either some kind of creature or perhaps somebody wearing a mask.
Oh my god. It's La Llorona.
No other information is known of this video. Was it some kind of creature? Some people in the comments were saying it could be an owl. Others think it was a person in a mask with
Man, what the fuck?
possibly trying to break into the house.
Man, what the fuck? An owl? Bro, what kind of... What? It's just a staged YouTube video. I don't think any fucking owl looks like that.
And his dad sounded concerned and told him to go upstairs and check on the hot water heater, which is actually in their attic, a very uncommon place to find a water heater. Steven's dad was worried that something was wrong with the water heater and that the sounds he was hearing were coming from it. So Steven obliged and proceeded to go up into the attic, but not without recording.
Well, there's another fake one. Mr. Nightmare has always done, like, real shit from everything we've seen. And the first video here was real, but the last couple here have been fake. Or at least this one seems like it's about to be fake.
Steven checked the water heater and saw that it was completely fine. He then appeared to be leaving the attic, and that's when he heard a sound that caught his attention. As Steven heard something come from inside a large, long box, he took a closer look at it and saw someone's eye peeking out.
He's just trying to use his imagination like SpongeBob and Patrick.
The 17-year-old was
Leave him alone.
in shock. And
I would have stomped that box flat. No, you would not. You would not. I know for a fact you wouldn't. I don't know you personally, but I know you wouldn't. Assuming that's real, there's not a single goddamn person in this chat that would have, like, fought that guy. All of you would have run. No way. You're not like the hero of an anime. I know I do this too. Everyone comes up with these like crazy scenarios. I would stop a school shooting if I was there. I would charge him and then disarm him using Dale Brown's kung fu techniques from the Detroit Survival Fitness. I would be the man to do it. But you wouldn't. You just wouldn't.
So the man decides to go up there with a light and camera and check it out.
And gamer? Is that Ray William Johnson?
The man looks around for several minutes but doesn't see anything out of the ordinary. As the wife is clearly very distressed and scared, the man maintains a calm, reassuring demeanor about the situation.
What's going on with the audio? They're going through a tunnel? Oh, wait, that was actually Gollum. That is literally Gollum.
It appears to be the wrinkled, gray face of an old man, peering down at the couple for a very brief moment with an eerie expression. He quickly disappears back into the darkness above, going undetected by the couple. Some people believe that it may have been a homeless elderly man who was taking refuge in the couple's attic.
No, I don't think it is. I don't. This is like a weird stock asset of, I guess, Dobby the house elf. That is not a wrinkly old man. This dude like looked down the ladder like a boss fight in Dark Souls. He just like swung his head over out of nowhere. It's not like a wrinkly old man. Plus the guy that went in the attic would have seen him.
Yeah, gotta climb on that.
God, oh, it's like an infrared. I feel like I'm in an AC-130 right now. Like that Modern Warfare mission. Good lord.
These are the shingles.
Hey, thanks for the 5 gift subs, gamer. Appreciate it, man. There's some Gorski. Wait a minute, that's the same goddamn guy that was in the other attic. What kind of cryptid is this? The attic bald man?
Oh my god.
He grabbed his rifle and returned to his roof, but the creature was no longer there. The creature seems to be bald with a large round head, but no facial features can be seen.
Damn. Well, one of those videos was real. The other 4 were also real. Goddamn, there's an epidemic right now of rakes living on people's roofs, I guess. Fuck, we're gonna have to do something about that.
The website was created by Craig Newmark in 1995.
Holy shit, wait, that's the Craig? That's Mr. List himself? I've never looked up the history of Craigslist. I thought it was just like a random name they pulled out, because Craig is super standard, like very generic NPC kind of shit. Nice.
But you'd be surprised to know that in 2018, the website had at least 60 million monthly users in the US alone. So with all these people interacting on the site, it's no doubt that some horrible ones slipped through the cracks. Welcome to the dangerous world of Craigslist criminals. Philip Markoff.
What?
Philip Markoff.
Wait, what is that? Wasn't there a guy who put his nudes in a desk he sold on Craigslist? That's fucking big brain. I mean, maybe. Probably, I guess. I don't know if he did it on purpose, man. He was just selling his desk and probably just forgot about his dick pics, man. Was that like a big story or something? I could absolutely imagine that happening. It shit probably happens at garage sales all the time.
Though if we know anything about murderers, it's that they look average. He was a big 6'3" white male that was
sometimes
known by
they
his
look
friends
exactly
being a
like what
goofy,
you think
smart
they would.
guy. Not only was he goofy, but he was incredibly smart when it came to schooling, as he was in the National Honor Society. Though he wasn't as smart when it came to hiding evidence. Let me explain.
Hey, fun fact, I was also in the National Honor Society.
The erotic services section set up dates with
but
girls
I don't really
who were
use Craigslist.
advertising themselves in the Boston area, escorts, and robbed them at gunpoint. Though one sadly ended up being killed, which was Weston Copley Place. Once he entered, he pointed a pistol at her, handcuffed her with zip ties, and robbed her. Keep in mind, this dumbass wasn't wearing a mask. Not only that, but he was wearing black gloves to cover his fingerprints, but was persistent on removing his phone number from Trisha's phone, and I guess the gloves are too thick so he couldn't really type, so he removed the gloves to type, and the fingerprints were on the phone. It's like, you dumb mother... He then tied her to the doorknob from
All right.
the inside, taped her mouth shut
What a
while leaving
strat.
fingerprints on the roll of tape. He also took a knife out of his pocket and cut the hotel phone lines. He stole $800 in cash and her credit cards. He also picked up some of her underwear that was on the floor, put it in his pocket, and left. 4 days later,
Oh, a little car
April 14th,
freshener.
2009,
Huffing
Julissa
the
Brisman,
fumes.
age 25, became Markov's second victim. She was an aspiring model from New York City and was described as an extremely happy party girl who liked having fun. Just like Trisha, she also advertised herself in the erotic services section on Craigslist. Police believe that he immediately pulled the gun on her once he entered the room, got at least one plastic tie on her wrist. She fought back and things escalated quickly. He pistol whipped her on the head and then shot her 4 times. Police say he didn't have to kill her. She had no weapons. Getting caught. One of Julissa's friends found the emails that Philip and Julissa had exchanged and contacted authorities, explained that she had his IP address. Detectives traced the IP to an apartment belonging to Philip Markov, a 23-year-old med student at Boston University. He had a fiance at the time who knew nothing about what he was up to on Craigslist. He was arrested shortly after. During trial, he pleaded not guilty, which was dumb because detectives found the gun he used to murder Julissa in his room with his fingerprints on it. His trial was
circumstantial
extended, and in the meantime
evidence.
was in prison. On August 15th, 2010, 1 year and 1 day after his wedding would have taken place, Markov was found dead in his cell. He had used a knife made from a pen and a piece of metal to cut arteries in his ankles, legs, and neck. He had also swallowed toilet paper and tied in a plastic bag over his head with gauze. Additionally,
This dude
he had
did
written his
8 different
former fiance's
suicides.
name and their pet. This dude killed himself in the jail, which would have been a happy ending, but sadly he had to kill a girl, right? Let's move on to the next one.
God damn. So that's like 8 different ways of killing himself. My God, he used every ounce of that med student knowledge. Jesus. How long ago was that? What year did he say? I imagine this had to be during like the height of Craigslist. Because I remember like, they're all, 2009? Is that what it was? Okay. I remember back in, God, it must have been high school. When was the big Craigslist killer that got a lot of press? I think it was high school for me. And when that happened, everyone was like, yeah, it sounds about right for Craigslist. Do people still use it for services and shit? Like, do people still advertise this kind of shit on there? Because like I said, I haven't used it in a while. Yeah, they do? God, this gotta be the riskiest shit ever. Why? Bro, just fucking like pass out flyers at a gas station or something. You're a lot better off. Because even in high school, all of us were like, yeah, I mean, that's pretty much what you'd expect from Craigslist services. Just a bunch of fucking psychopaths. I don't know why you would trust that. It's terrible. It's scary. I use it for cars. Well, yeah, you can buy shit from Craigslist, man. I don't think you're gonna run into a guy who's gonna, like, fuck your shit up over a beat-up bug or anything. Like, you could probably buy cars if you want. I'm talking about the services category.
Anne-Marie Linscott. In November 2007,
why does that name
3
sound so
California
familiar?
residents were searching Craigslist for job opportunity. During the email exchange, Linscott, who was a Michigan resident, asked each of the 3 individuals responding to her advertisement to quote-unquote eradicate a woman living in Oroville, California.
What the
yes,
fuck?
she put up a hitman ad on Craigslist. She provided additional information on
big word for that, eradicate.
description of the victim.
That's not just like
age,
kill
and her
or
employment address. Linscott
beat.
offered a hefty payment
That's
upon completion
big.
of the quote-unquote. In April of 2007, things began getting extremely scary. A Molotov cocktail with a fuse was found under the bed of the man's wife, named Carol. Thankfully,
What
it didn't
the
go off. Then the
fuck?
Craigslist ad we were talking about was
A
made. She was
Molotov
looking for,
cocktail
quote-unquote,
time
silent
bomb?
assassins to eradicate a 56-year-old woman from Oroville named Carol. The price? $5,000. An extremely popular public website. Anne-Marie, you should watch these videos right here in case you really want to hire a hitman. I made videos talking about it. That was a joke.
True, he does give
You
like
should go watch those
tutorials, I
videos
guess.
And also watch The Dangerous World of 4chan Criminals. So those 3 people that engaged in the
Is there
ad
some
called the
Pika
authorities, and
and
then the
Kopi?
authorities got the FBI involved. Anne-Marie Linscott was sentenced to 151 months in prison, aka 12.5 years. That means she was released last year in 2021. So
Wow.
Anne-Marie, if you're watching this, let me tell you right now, Craigslist isn't the way to go. It's not really what the cool kids use anymore. If you want to get on a website that everyone uses to hire hitmen, then go to tuvmerch.creator-spring.com.
Oh, what a
Buy merch
plug.
on that website, like you get hitmen like Brown. Jason Brown was a 25-year-old man in 2014
There's
and
the
would
prime.
find thrill out of adopting
Mr.
dogs that were
and they
looking
give
for
some
homes
hunter.
and torturing them until death. I won't be getting into details on how
Jesus
exactly
Christ.
he torture, recorded everything. The recordings were only seen by the judge, the lawyers, and a detective. But in the video, Brown could be heard saying that this was his house of pain, and he wanted to turn them into a fur coat. Brown is heard saying in one of the recordings that he found dogs through Craigslist and looked for, quote, pets free on the ads. So he would just go on the search term, just claimed that he couldn't remember committing the acts because he was injecting heroin, methamphetamine, and cocaine during more than a 2-month-long binge. The recordings were taken by Brown as well as
then he can't be held accountable.
Jason Brown was sentenced to 28 years in prison.
Hey,
and
fuck
I know what you guys just said. You said, that's it? Yeah, I know, right? I don't know either. This fucker deserves life in prison.
That's so much more than I thought it would be. Usually animal crimes are like days in prison. So that's huge. Like, that's big in that world. Typically, like, we watched the video not long ago. Well, a better example, the YouTube cat killer, the guy that murdered cats on video and used to just post them freely on YouTube. That guy only saw jail for like a day. I don't even know if he saw jail. I'm just assuming because I don't remember now. But like, that shit does not carry hefty sentences usually. So at least that guy got a fat one. I still haven't seen Don't Fuck With Cats. That's not who I'm talking about. I'm talking about the YouTuber. I even made a video on him like a year or whatever ago. I forgot his name. Pollution, I think. Yeah, that's what. Pollution. That kid, like, he wasn't in jail for any length of time at all. Luke Magnotta? Luke Magnotta started as an animal killer and then didn't he murder a human being? I always think that someone that's like murdering and decapitating and bathing in the blood of animals and whatever always deserves heftier penalties in prison because there's such a strong correlation with that behavior and becoming a real serial killer. So like someone like Pollution Entertainment, that guy should still be in jail for a long time. Luke Magnotta got his victim from Craigslist as well. Jesus Christ, really? This is So this story is one that I've covered on stream a couple times. I find this whole saga very, very interesting. I wonder how many like OG Twitch viewers we have in the chat right now, because this is vintage. This is like a fine wine of internet cringe and drama. This was like the first big Twitch drama story. This man right here, Zillion OP. He used to stream League of Legends in a wheelchair. I believe he talked about disabilities, as well as even did like charitable things for disabilities, if memory serves me correctly. And then eventually during a stream, he inexplicably stands up and walks to the bathroom after being in the chair for his entire streaming career. It was one of the most miraculous moments ever captured on film. That guy must have bought Peter Popoff's holy water or something, because in that moment he could walk yet again and everything was fine. And then once he was caught with his pants down, I think he's tried to defend himself saying, I never explicitly said I was disabled forever. So he said it was like only a temporary wheelchair, and that he didn't actually mislead people. I'm a little foggy on the details, but the story is a wild one. So I'm glad Sunny V2 is covering it.
Incident, he'd go on to create a Twitch account before gaining a reputation for his personality, gaming skills, and finally, his physical disability as a wheelchair streamer. For some reason, Zillion wasn't actually disabled. That would be until January 2013, approximately 6 months after beginning his
I thought it was a lot longer.
When Zillion OP's promotional Facebook page would be hacked, creating initial suspicions that his apparent disability was nothing more than one giant hoax. I just met you, and this is crazy, but here's a chip-in button for a charity. Let me steal your money, maybe. We're not like you, sir. We wouldn't mess with your PayPal.
What the fuck is this?
We're above stealing money from those in need. Hey guys, I'm sick. Donate to me to pay my hospital bills. I'm giving away a keyboard that was given to me by another fool who doesn't care that I scam my viewers for money. Hi guys, who wants to raise money for some kids? For example, on the 10th of January 2013, just 10 days before his Facebook was hacked, he'd be banned on Diablo 3 as a result of beginning his stream whilst having a botting script active. The incident will be shared to Reddit and over 700 upvotes, with a post also explaining that Zillion lied to his audience about the ban, stating that it was for account sharing as opposed to the reality for botting. Although,
man, that is some classic Reddit. I have a disappoint. Does the narwhal bacon at midnight, brothers? I didn't know he had like a history of scamming. I actually thought it was just that one event. I thought he had a really positive reputation up until he fucking stood up like the Undertaker getting up from a bad fall Just raising from the wheelchair and going to get a snack or whatever.
4 months later, on the 5th of April 2013, something would happen while Zillion was streaming, proving this Reddit comment correct, whilst ending Zillion's entire career in the process.
Watch, check it out. Get on your mount and follow me.
Maybe I don't want to follow you.
God, this clip is classic.
Our dog, oh my god! We took our dog, like, to the fish shop today because the dog loves just.
I can't believe it! Oh, I am. Oh my god! Anything is possible!
If you believe that actions speak louder than
and then a
words,
poltergeist
Zillion turning his camera
tilts the camera
to hide his empty wheelchair was basically
we
the
weren't
same
meant to
as
see
him
that.
saying, I've just exposed myself doing something that I definitely shouldn't have been doing. However, the chat would continue to discuss what they had just seen, and seemingly in a state of panic, Zillion joined the discussion by both gaslighting and lying to his audience about what had just.
So how do you even come back from that? Like, okay, everyone knows Twitch chat has some of the dumbest fucking people of all time. That's just the internet in general. And of course people were going to defend him, but how? Like, I can't even wrap my head around how you would possibly explain away the fact that this guy, who has led you to believe that he is in a wheelchair, all of a sudden just stood up and then tilted his camera down and ended stream. What the fuck? Did Zill just stand? No, I fell. I pushed off my chair and ate it. That was the most controlled fall of all time. Yeah, I was going to say that I figured you were holding yourself up with your arms. The delusion is always crazy. Oh my god. This is bad. Even blaming the dog. That's real low. That's real low. And this just makes me lose any amount of faith in, like, common sense here. They all just watched him stand up. He didn't fall. And the dog pouring water on his wires wouldn't all of a sudden knock his webcam straight down. People just believe fucking anything.
Zillion deleting any comments calling him out instantly suggested that he was guilty. His story didn't exactly
No, he was just embarrassed
If
to
he had
fall.
really fallen out of his seat, how was he able to get up and move the camera so that it was no longer facing the empty wheelchair? Additionally, after the VOD was clipped, viewers noticed that Zillion walked away without...
Do you remember a bit ago when we watched a recent interview about this situation? Yeah, I can't remember what he said though. It was like an hour and a half long and I can't remember a fucking word that he said about it. Do you remember? Because I don't. I'm sure it'll be in this video, but let's just get a little, you know, deep into the manga here. Because he had some kind of, like, outrageous excuse or something. The earthquake was so intense that it wobbled him to steady feet the entire time. Like gyroscopic.
So, what a day. I wake up
True,
to
it
be
might have been
informed
Clara.
of what has happened. I read all the articles, all I can say is karma. You deserve everything you have coming to you, Zillion. I do hope you put those legs to use and get a real job. You owe a lot of people money now. What I find funniest about this is your terrible cover-up of it all. The streaming business is a much better place without creeps like you in it. Oh, and by the way, this isn't James. It's Matt in brackets Hypno, you fool, with Hypno being an old friend that Zillion used to stream with from around 1 year prior.
I called it. I knew it'd be a friend.
So hacker.
It is reprehensible.
His actions are a huge slap in the face to Twitch community members with real disabilities such as Aaron and groups such as Able Gamers who have helped spread a message of inclusiveness and positivity to not only the Twitch
This is a really good
community,
statement
but
from
gaming
Twitch.
as a whole.
Twitch should do shit like this now. Like, if there's a really bad actor and they do take a stance against it, this is a good statement. Like, this is actually a good PR piece. But this is 2013 Twitch. Maybe they don't have this same group here.
There's Zillion. He has legs. We got Zillion. It should be.
Nice.
It's live. They're gonna go nuts. They're gonna be like, "What, Zillion?" Because no one's seen you since it went.
Knows what I look like at this point.
He has no beard. Look at this. No beard. Look at how much he lifts.
Interestingly,
Oh, he
Zillion
upgraded.
also shaved his 20. However, this would change once again when the internet would discover a channel that looks suspiciously familiar, going by the name of It's Bluish. The
Remember
streamer
this.
running this suspicious page was clearly Zillion, and it would hilariously be the person who originally hacked his Facebook page in 2013, who would once again expose him.
Damn, this guy's like the Batman.
Subreddit in a post.
Zillion's his Joker.
Me at concerts, me out traveling, me out doing everything. This was just like I was in a wheelchair. I did get better, and I am obviously no longer in a wheelchair.
Unless for some reason Zillion had lived a year of his life in a wheelchair for the sole purpose of looking disabled prior to beginning his streaming journey, it was basically confirmed that Zillion was most certainly disabled, or at least had been temporarily. Throughout the interview, it feels as though Zillion is speaking in a way that's truthful. It doesn't feel like he's trying to hide anything. So under the assumption that this whole discussion wasn't yet another lie, here's what they discovered. Firstly, Zillion wasn't lying about either the car accident or needing to be in a wheelchair.
I was in a wheelchair for 2 years. I was in a car accident, which put me in a wheelchair for more than a year prior to streaming.
Okay. And therefore, the disability was never fabricated.
When you are integrating your disability so much in stream that it may have put off a certain image that you were wheelchair bound when you weren't. Are you willing to admit that perhaps?
The big thing is, I remember now when we watched this, he still tried to cover it up by saying he fell out of the chair because he didn't want to admit he didn't need the wheelchair anymore. So it's still entirely his fault for misleading everyone. Like, even to the bitter end of that channel, he was still lying when he stood up, and it was accidental. He didn't want people to know. If that didn't happen, he may very well have done that for forever. Years down the line, until he fucked up. So it's, again, it's not like it was just, it was an accident. I didn't want people to, you know, it wasn't like I was trying to hide this. I guess I just was a victim of my own hubris for trying to battle these things in private, and I should have shared more. Well, no, he blatantly lied. Like, he did blatantly lie when he stood up. He tried to say he fell, the dog spilled water and ate his homework, which is why the webcam tilted down. So, I still think that it is entirely scummy.
However, it did seem like Twitch was in the process of unbanning his OG Zillion account, so perhaps he'll have another opportunity to do his stream the right way in the future.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't really address the lying about it at the end when he was revealed to be no longer wheelchair bound. But yeah, that is a wild story. I do remember that one as it unfolded. It's always nice to get a refresher on exactly what that was.
Neither of them.
Oh, Steve from Blue's Clues is out.
Judge Buzzard springs into action. And it's on.
Like the judge is going after them on foot himself.
Two escapees are in handcuffs and prison-issue sandals.
Oh, he ate shit. He's like the Terminator out here.
This bright orange clue here.
He's just slow riding it.
Made it to the third floor.
Uh-oh. Here he comes. Man, this guy loves justice.
Second, just one floor away from freedom.
Oh God!
Buzzard is gaining some ground.
Judge Buzzard! About to fucking eat him! Oh!
The judge tackles the lagging defendant just outside the
exit
to the building. Both have second-degree escape added to their charges.
There you go.
I didn't try to escape to get out. I tried to escape to get well, and I tried to do what I could, do what I could do to get my drug addiction.
What?
We're heading out to Jackson, Michigan.
Okay. I mean, I guess that makes sense. He was just running from the courthouse to rehab. He didn't want to wait.
This man, Jacob Larson. This incident's a violation of a restraining order against Jacob.
All those messages were like, a lot of them were like last year.
Man, you really can't afford like a usable camera here. This quality is abominable. It's like a fucking picture of Sasquatch.
4 months earlier.
Yeah, I know. It's like this, like fatal attraction.
Are there even people here? This is just like a video game glitch, like when you go out of bounds.
I told you. You know what? I told you to leave her alone, and apparently that.
Oh, please fight again! God damn it! I want to see it again.
You're going to jail for the jail. You and her are all. You know what? You got a bad attitude. You had a bad attitude last time you were in court. Okay?
You and her are buddy. Y'all get along.
He's probably fucking your girl. What do you think about that?
County jail. You want to go for a year? Try it right now.
Do it.
One more
He's bluffing. He doesn't have the power.
Over Facebook.
You're going to jail for a year in the county. 365 days county jail. Can't do it.
What do you mean? It's crazy how many people say you can't do that. He's the fucking judge. Like, what do you mean? This man can tell you have to stand on a corner with your butthole flexed in front of a traffic light if you wanted to.
Put your hands behind your back. Get to know you all too much.
It holds true. The quickest way to tell when someone's an insufferable asshole is when they call themselves a good person or a nice person. That's how you immediately know that you will never like that person, and they certainly are not good or nice.
As he pulls out what appears to be...
He's going in! in.
No one seems to notice until
he's making a statement.
He lights up, and this time it's noticed immediately.
Hey! We the people deserve better.
Oh, what a hero. My man.
We the people deserve better.
And on that day, weed was legalized.
Taken away by the court officer, slapping Boston with a disorderly conduct charge, as well as another charge of possession.
But he can sleep easy at night knowing that he was on the side of justice and brought change. The joint that changed everything.
There's a lot of things that you can do, and your life doesn't have to be over.
It is a useless law, but that was such a fucking dumb idea. Like, what did he expect? My God, he's so brave. That's it, I'm changing the law right now.
Apparently, here's some snickering from Casal's family sitting in the gallery.
What the fuck?
You can go too. Whoever can sit here at a tragic moment like this and laugh and smile.
No, throw her in jail. Fuck that. If I was a judge and heard that, she'd be going right to jail. Fuck her.
You cannot come down
what
to
a
the
piece of shit.
Hall of Justice. Ma'am, you are being taken into custody for criminal contempt. Your disruptive and disrespectful behavior disrupted today's proceedings, and you, ma'am, are going to the Wayne County Jail for 93 days for direct contempt.
Now that's what I'm fucking talking about. Well, it's been a while since I've had a full-blown justice boner, and that just triggered it. I wish it was more than 93 days, though.
Donna seems to have learned a serious lesson from just one night behind bars.
Don't you fucking dare let her out.
Miss Foster, is there something you'd like to say? Yes, I deeply apologize.
In fact, laugh at her. Laugh at her. Laugh in her face. A hearty belly laugh. Ho ho ho. Ha ha ha. Judge reprimands father of 40 children. Holy shit. 40?
Next, we're in Miami, Florida, where Judge Nusheen Safie's about to recognize a familiar name on her bond hearing docket.
Johnny Ray Smith Jr. Oh my God.
These two have a storied history, and you're gonna hear all about it. In that same case, Smith revealed to the court that he had fathered more than 30 children.
God damn.
Remember she was pregnant and she had another kid, so I'm at 40 now.
Holy shit. All of a sudden, two people in the chat are like, wait a minute, it's my dad.
No, listen, I never went back to the house. I never called.
You didn't listen to anything I said.
No, I did. I left.
She seems a little interested. She's playful with you. You might be looking at another 10 children coming up soon.
Smith's charges today,
as well as the allegations before the court at this point.
Just make it clear that my history with him is as a judge.
Mr. Smith.
You're not staying there, correct?
So what is he here for? Just to like brag about how many kids he has?
Mr. Smith, just
Ditched her with 2 kids. Condoms, use them.
Okay.
That's fucking nuts. 40 kids. Holy shit. Man caught with drugs in the courtroom, huh?
filled with some kind of powder. He's not entirely sure what it is. So he has it tested.
He snorts it.
It turns out to be cocaine.
Jackpot.
So the court...
Are these the potential suspects?
And this man steps up to the gate. Watch closely as he moves his hat. One more time.
Why would he bring cocaine here? And put it in his hat, of all places, the worst place to put it.
Arrest.
Thanks for being a fan of Court Cam.
What a fucking horrible idea. That's like the one place and one hiding spot you would never want to use. Man gets 100 days for sassing the judge. Good. Let's see the sass.
So I'm gonna raise the bond.
I hope he earned it.
I actually have a car that I'm trying to sell on Craigslist.
Stop talking. I'm gonna give you a public defender. Michael Ray.
Hey, he was just trying to sell his car.
Next up is Michael Ray.
He committed a crime just to plug his car.
4 charges.
Your Honor, the county's requesting $25,000 full cash.
Hey, thanks for the 5 gift subs. Everyone loves Ray. Thank you, Ray.
You think that's funny?
I think it's hilarious.
Sarcasm won't get him a reduction, and the judge lets him know it.
He's lucky I didn't hold him in contempt.
Ray just had his bond doubled.
Nice, let's triple it.
But as he re-enters the hallway...
And then he can negotiate it down.
Bring him in.
This guy's watched way too many anime moments here. He thinks he's like really badass.
Ray's language isn't the only thing to upset the judge. According to court officials, the defendant also gave her the middle finger, when, sure enough, Ray comes back for more.
Here he comes. Sir, I'm holding you in contempt for what you did.
What you're holding me in?
And so...
You shut man.
All right, you can take it back.
That's right.
That felt like something right out of GTA RP.
He's done.
I think we need to.
Yeah.
Can we bring him back?
Yes.
What started out as 4 serious charges has grown into a grand total of 10.
Nice. Go for 20. Don't be a bitch.
Yeah. No, I figure that's just a
that definitely cut deep on the lawyer being called useless like that.
Thanks for being a fan of
He didn't like that.
Where it's very early on a Sunday morning, and all is quiet. Until...
Oh, shit! I was expecting that, but I thought it was gonna be like a garbage truck.
Their pickup right through the front of the building to steal an ATM machine just off camera.
Oh.
This is just one of a series of recent break-ins involving
I see.
ATMs, just as the truck hits the gas to dislodge the ATM. With nothing more than what appears to be a bare cash deposit box,
nice.
The thieves come up empty and drive off.
What do you mean empty? They were there for that little
3
box.
days later, after the courthouse boarded up the windows.
This is some fucking straight up Tom and Jerry shit.
Finish the job. Angel Lopez, Thomas Ortega, and Toby Perkins are arrested and charged with theft.
Could they have woken the guy in the top left up for his mugshot at least?
Their lookouts. Thanks for being a fan of Court Cam. Subscribe to
Holy
A&E
shit. So they actually did get money out of them? Isn't it extraordinarily difficult to actually break into one of those? Like, here, let me see. What would I type in to find that? Maybe this would work? Well, yeah, now it just looks like I'm planning a crime here.